Welcome. Chat rules. No doxing. No homophobic bullcrap. No racial bullcrap. If you don't like someone in chat, click on their name and select block. And then select block again. Done. If you ever feel like it's all too much, log off and contact the number below for help. To be eligible for gifted memberships, click the $sign and select membership. Then hit gift settings and slide to on to allow gifts. Turn off gift settings the same way. My email, ConnieKR68@gmail.com. Tips are appreciated, never expected. Cash App, $sign, capital CONNIEKR. PayPal me at ConnieKR68. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks.
Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism and commenting.
Get ready, because Constant Sue has something to say, like it or not. Hello, everyone. Boy, it's been a busy day today. Everybody's been live. We heard from our missing Sarah and Mama T, and then Ernie in the tanning bed. Thanks, Fizz. Let's see who all's here. This is pinned to the top if you want to support the channel. Sarah's going to join me. Let me give her a... This is for Sarah right now. I'll invite others up later here, but right now this is just for Sarah. And this is how you can tip Sarah anonymously if you don't want your information to go out. This is how you can tip me anonymously. Hey, Dodie, Kentucky, Mr. T. And no, I sure don't see, I don't know Kevin's new channel if his is gone. Today's video source is from Archive Live from April 21st, 2025. The original video is Ernie's original video, and there's the link. Hey, Sheila D, Trucker for Autism, Crybaby, Kiz Kazzy, Lori Lee, Dodie, did I say hi already? Hey, Nana C, Lisa K, Sandy in the Beach, Sheila D. Let me see who's else here. Fizz. Thank you, thank you. This live was almost 5 hours. Almost 5 hours. There's a lot. Oh, Kevin's channel is still up, no content on it. There you go, Mr. T. This channel. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, what's up?
Glad you're here.
I got another one open.
This will be another blind review for you because you haven't seen this yet.
This is the first time, like, okay, I'm going back to the StreamYard. I literally have no clue what's going on for days.
Well, he admitted this is almost a 5 hour live. It was very long. There's so much I want to cover in it, but I'm going to skip the first half and go to the second half because I don't want to be here 6 to 8 hours. So I'll probably do it 2 parts. And this part goes over where he admitted that he manipulates his audience.
No way. I'm going to be so clueless what's going on.
Him and Homelander were on panel. So Homelander isn't Ernie. I stand corrected. I always thought Homelander was Ernie.
Me too, if it's the real Homelander.
Right. I don't think it is. But the guy seems to have more sense than the average tiger. So I'll give him that. And he did hold Ernie accountable at the first of the video. I want to go over that later. but he did kind of hold Ernie accountable. But he's still over there in the corner cheering him on for all the fuck
Really?
shit. So I don't know.
Interesting. Hey, Crybaby Fizz.
I invited the Tigers to panel today because after I play some of this, I want to know their feeling. No arguing, no yelling, no putting people down, no shade. Just I want to know how you feel after, because y'all had to hear this. Whether you acknowledged it or not, I don't know. I gave it a few days to see if anybody would mention it. Nobody's mentioned it, so I'm going to bring it up. But he straight out says he's manipulating them, because he's not manipulating us. The people that don't watch him, the people that are against him, he's not manipulating us. He's manipulating the new people, his old people, and the people that left him to come back. So when he talks about all this manipulation, think about it. Who's he manipulating? And why does he have to manipulate? Why does he have to use this mind control bullshit over you? If he's legit and he's, doing no harm and going to be a good guy, why does he have to mind control y'all?
Exactly.
Sarah doesn't mind control her audience.
No, and it's funny you said the mind control stuff, because I've been putting together, I have like this playlist where I just throw stuff in, watch later, and sometimes I pull stuff from there. Like I haven't actually been around here for days for the most part. That's why I'm clueless. So I was like, I think I will go live today. It's been a while. I haven't been on here. So I just pulled something from the list, and I saw all the manipulation things. I was going to do, at some point, I want to go over some mind control stuff, some manipulation in crowds and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because I think it's important. I don't, no names. You just listen to the info and you choose for yourself. Does this sound like so-and-so?
Right.
That's coming in the future. Oh, hey, Leslie.
Hey, Leslie. He said they're all idiots. He called them all stupid motherfuckers a while back for believing him, and they didn't give a shit. True story. True story. They acted like, oh, he wasn't talking to us. He wasn't talking to me.
No, he literally actually said he was.
Did he really say he was?
I felt bad for them.
Well, he can't get out of this because he straight out says he manipulates them into getting what he wants. And I really want it, if they would be brave enough. I'm sure they're not going to be brave enough. I'm sure they're not allowed to come over here. Hey, Michelle. But if they would be brave enough and be allowed to come over here and talk to me, that would be great. Have a conversation, not a yell, not a put down. Just come tell me how you feel about what he said.
Yeah, that would be cool. I feel like they can't. I feel like they're afraid. Like they'll get in trouble. They're allowed in my chat. They're allowed in my chat. I always say Tigers, any freaking person. You know what I'm saying? Like I make that clear all the time. And I've had many of the Tigers come in there, and they're slowly kind of not, now where it's, I feel like where they're all getting tighter over there. But they are, let me be clear, you are allowed there. Some of my Tigers that I'm friendly with, I've always said that.
Yeah, and they're allowed in chat, and they're allowed on my panel today. After we hear a bit of this, I'm going to drop the link for them, just for the Tigers or somebody that went back to the Tigers, whether you consider yourself a Tiger or not, an Ernie supporter.
And my shit's not always about Tigers or Ernie. I've been trying to change stuff so it's chill and there's other topics.
Maggie, and you can love Ernie.
And there's one right there.
You don't have to like me, Maggie. I want to know how you feel after we hear what he said, because I know you've heard this. I know you were watching the night he said it. But I want you to hear it clear and then tell me how you feel. Because there's really, the only out people would have is, oh, he wasn't talking about us. He was talking about his bounty hunter days. No, you'll hear this in this coming up, that he talks about current. It's how he current does it. So he's not a bounty hunter now. Y'all aren't skip tracers. He doesn't have to use it on you. Your
Sarah
followers.
Even lets me in her chat. Sorry, I'm just reading something. I was wondering what you never did nothing to me. I don't know. Yeah.
I think this crank was
I think you're joking, but yeah, you're all welcome, man. Anytime. I'm doing stuff that has nothing to do with this sometimes too, so people can't say like that it's all about this, and that. Because if they and then people say they're tired of drama, they don't want this, but then when other chats do stuff that's non-drama, they're in the drama ones still too. So you do like the drama, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. And Ernie said last night, when you find your content, stick with it. Don't be changing it all up. So I'm gonna take Ernie's advice. This is my content, and I'm gonna stick with it. It's
And
what I
I'm
know.
doing the opposite. I like to mix it up.
Yeah, and
I
that's
don't want to
good
be just one thing, you know what I mean?
because
Because I'm not
some
really
people need a
trying to be
break.
like a creator or you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make a spot to chill.
Welcome, seriously.
You're not blocked.
Hey, Free
Oh, on
Evening.
StreamYard. I don't know how I need to learn how to do that.
I don't know
'Cause
that
I
you're
don't even
unblocked on StreamYard. I don't know how to unblock if I do. So just get it with another one of your 100 accounts.
What up, traders? Simply Nicole,
Okay,
Tony again, Michelle. Seriously.
I'll drop the
No,
link
I'm
again.
a supporter, not a basher. A supporter of Ernie, we know that.
You're a
That's
supporter.
okay.
Yeah, and y'all say that, oh, we're over here having fun. And stop the hate, Constance. I'm sure what he's done to Katie lately could be qualified as a whole bunch of hate. So don't
I
start
missed
that either.
all of it.
Yeah, he was. Oh my God, he was. He said he was going to take her horse. He's going to sue her and take her horse and then kill it.
Oh, wait. You know what? I seen one thing that I don't remember where I seen it because I was actually going to make a video because I didn't like this whole thing. It don't matter. Like, if you see something like this, I feel like it should be said no matter who's, you know, that you're supporting. But there was something said about that stood out to me as a thin person about her arms. And I almost made, and I
Uh huh.
still, because that really bugged me because I'm as a thin person, mine are really good. I go get blood drawn there. I'm a phlebotomist stream. All I have to do is like move my fist a couple times and there they are. They love it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just being thin, I think. Some people that are thin. So that kind of offended me. So I'm gonna take some real good zoom ins and you can see my veins because I'm skinny. It doesn't mean I'm on drugs. Okay. I can't even look when I get a blood draw. I faint. I faint actually sometimes when I get blood draws. So that doesn't mean you're a fucking IV drug user. That it just hit me the wrong way since I'm skinny. So I wanted to say that.
And every IV drug user wears long sleeves. There isn't going to be any model that's an
Not
IV drug user.
necessarily. Some of them sometimes they cover up and I've heard anyways that some do it on their feet so that it
Yeah,
can't be
that's
seen.
what you're right. I should have said that. But if they're using their arms like he was accusing Katie of, Katie would be smart enough to cover her arms,
Yeah.
especially
Well,
in a
I'll make a
photo shoot.
skinny video. I'll make a skinny arm video. I'll show how it looks and I'll do it live while I scrunch my fist a few times, how they bulge, and then you can tell me I'm on drugs too. I would like to see
Right.
if that happens.
There's no fat to cover them. I mean,
No, I mean I
so you're
guess
like,
I mean I must have some fat, but I mean I'm just saying as
mhm.
a slender person, naturally they're
Mhm.
there. I don't know. I don't even like it. I hate it actually.
And the only reason he said it is because she's playing the trial. She's going over the Shelby Shell trial.
Mm,
So he's butthurt about that. So he's come up with all this hate, and it's
that could
just been
be.
disgusting. I mean, Brett was on panel with him about Peachy's kids, and they were absolutely disgusting. So these people want to talk about, they're not about the hate and they want to have fun. Well,
That's why I
I
had to
beg
take
to
a break
differ.
because I just don't like how the stuff to the level where it is, you know, right now around our side of the YouTubes. What's up, Jackie?
Yeah, Sarah's here with us. Did you
I've been
miss her?
chilling in
Okay,
another community, just getting a little peace, you know.
mind reset. Defragging. Okay, the timestamp on this is
No, not everyone,
2:29.
Maggie. I'm offended by that because no matter what, I've not said that, and not everyone has. But you could say that some people call them that. That's true. Yeah, words mean everything.
What'd she say? Ernie has every right to fight back. Oh, well, yeah, but then don't say that you're not competing in the hate.
Oh, he does. He's not
Yeah,
silent.
then you can't say that you're not all over there in the hate. If he's
It's
fighting
only
back,
mhm.
he's spewing the hate too.
It's only okay if he does it.
Lisa Kay's going to go over the motion of discovery. She's going to get out all the
Yeah, I knew
crap.
you were doing that for a while. I forgot until you said something about the DVD player.
The reason the trial is so hard to follow is because when they send them to people that ask for them, they send it in mixed match bunches. So you got to put it together, and the timeline is hard as hell to follow along. So I think Lisa's going to put it in a timeline to
Mm-hmm.
where you see the trial all as it goes.
When is that starting?
And then,
What?
I'm not sure.
Well, maybe she'll say
I'm
in
not
here.
sure when she's going to do it.
Free side.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, bless your heart, Maggie. Hey, Twiggy killed. Wait, Ernie's still on YouTube? I thought he was a wanted man. Oh, no, he's been to jail and got out already. He's not one. He's an HIV man. He has HIV now.
You might have missed a few things.
Exactly, Lenny. Which one did I miss?
No, I'm talking to the person you just had pinned. I was being like kind of funny.
Ernie will win because he knows manipulation on governor races. Oh, Summers Nights, yes. He's going to manipulate the whole state of Kentucky. Oh, yeah, he's on probation.
Joe Dirt.
That's going to happen. What else? He's going to be a truck driver. He's going to be secret special tiger ops. He's going to still rescue kids. What else was he going to do?
I thought Tiger Ops was terminated, or is it back?
Oh, we said it was coming back, but I'm not sure when. He's suing us all. We're all going to jail. Don't fucking bless my heart, Connie. Not needed from a bitch like you.
Angry. That's a very angry
well,
statement.
Maggie May.
Now, let me ask you. Can I ask you a question, Constance? Just because of that comment, have you ever said anything like that to Maggie? Because I don't seem like you would swear like that. No, I don't think. Sometimes just to sit and think and reflect, Maggie. Like none of us have ever talked to you like that. Like for you, I think you're. I say I love you sometimes as a joke because you're a little spicy, but as an elder person, like I have a thing for elder people, and I just love them. I just say that sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, but I could never actually talk to you like that. That's just so rude.
Leslie says, bless your heart, Maggie. I think we're all going to be disappointed on the phone calls from jail from Shelby because what people are looking for, I don't think it's going to be there. Oh. That's what he said.
He's not do that now. Some jobs do hair follicle tests even.
Mr. Kitty says, no, he isn't wanted. Even his own family doesn't want him. Yeah, she was just complaining about the hate.
Right?
Yeah. Governor Giddeyup said, beloved can bless her heart too. Yes, I got her crazy pants on. Well, bless your heart, Maggie. We all need to bless Maggie's heart. Congrats on your new job as ambassador, by the way. Yes, ambassador for what, England? Yeah, I bet that's a big job.
Well, like I said, sometimes I do shows on stuff I find on the interwebs, random stories, and it has nothing to do with anything. No hate. It's not drama. And if anyone really wanted to watch it, they could go to that, or anyone else that does other shows, or you know what I'm saying? It's like people like to be in the middle of it, and they don't. They do.
Right. Okay, let's get this started because it's kind of long. I'm gonna slow it down to normal speed because I want everybody to hear this clear.
What?
And I've made the comments bigger to where hopefully you can see it.
What is Lisa K talking about? Above
something about summer nights.
Okay, I don't know anything about that. That must be something between they know. I have no clue.
And I'll take us off the screen so you can see the comments better. I'll take the comment off the screen.
Well, have a nice day, Maggie. You're still listening.
And you're welcome to stay and listen and come on panel when I drop the link and cuss me out all you want to.
Oh, that would be sweet if she came on panel.
She's been on panel before. I've heard her.
Oh, really?
Okay, this is Ernie, and I forget who's all on panel. I think it's Charlie and Renee was.
Let me share you. I forgot to share you because I came over real quick.
Charlie and Renee were on panel, but Homelander's on panel.
I didn't catch on that really.
But mainly it's just Ernie and Homelander. So here we go.
Okay, so I'm going to give up. I'm going to give away one of my big secrets, and I know that I'm going to get hit with this, but you probably know that I use it all the time.
When does that can I just ask one question and I'll try to shut it about Lenny J's comment? When does that paperwork have to be in that fee? Is there a deadline that you have to have your paperwork in if you're going to be running? Does anyone know? And when is it?
I'm not sure.
Just curious. Okay, I had to get that out.
It's a little crackly at the first, but that's Ernie's mic. But if it's bad, it might be mine too.
He's
So
been
let me
having
know how the
Wi-Fi.
sound is.
He's been having the McDonald's Wi-Fi that I have sometimes. I need to upgrade so bad.
I think mine's, I don't know, mine's a $50 special a month. But it
Well,
gets me
you know what?
what I use it for.
If you have a problem, if you end up, we could always do it like we did it before, where I could pull it up or whatever, screen share,
Okay.
and I'll stop it. You know what I mean? If we have to, I'll just give you that choice too.
Okay, chat. Let us know if how the sound is right away, so we don't play it with hurting your ears.
If it gets shitty, I'll do the share screen. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I'll start it from the beginning here. I mean,
who has a broken heart and all these things just the same way you do, or we do.
Okay, so I'm going to give up. I'm going to give away one of my big secrets, and I know that I'm going to get hit with this, but you probably know that I use it all the time. I use it tremendously. I'm going to get clipped. I understand this, but I'm being truthful.
Okay, in case we're going to repeat this a lot because I want to make sure.
Tremendously, I'm going to.
He says he uses this tremendously.
Okay.
Or we do.
Okay, so I'm going to give up. I'm going to give away one of my big secrets, and I know that I'm going to get hit with this, but you probably know that I use it all the time. I use it tremendously. I'm going to get clipped. I understand this, but I'm being truthful. If we're going to be truthful about it, we're going to be truthful about training. We're going to be truthful about this. So when it comes to gaining trust, and this is very important, I want everyone to understand this. I'm going to give you a little piece of the pie right here in what I use. When it comes to like gaining trust, and because gaining trust is power as well, the real move isn't like dark manipulation like everybody says that I do. It's not that. It's mastering influence.
Now, he says it's not the dark, cult-like things we say that he does. It's mastering influence. I don't care what you call it, Ernie. It's manipulation. So, and it's wrong to use on people.
And psychological insight.
Wait, pause. Would you like to show your arms? I'm going to show and do a video because I felt like that's something. There were no track marks on that picture. I looked at the picture. All I saw was a little bit of the vein bulge, the same that a lot of thin people have. I think that people they had track marks, which gave people the idea in their head that they were there because somebody told you saw them. That's how I took it. Because you were told that you saw them, and everybody just, oh, yeah, that's track marks because the idea was implanted in people's heads. That's my version of what happened. I looked at the picture and there was not one dot on there. Could you zoom in and point out where you saw one dot on her arm? Nobody should lie just because you don't like her or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that was really weird. That's what Constance is talking about.
And Ernie even says it upcoming in this video that if you tell people what they think they want to hear, or if you tell them what you think they want to see, they'll see it. But
that would be an example of it. Yes.
Right. That doesn't work on us. So who's he hurting? Is he hurting his enemies? Is he manipulating his enemies? No, he's manipulating his followers because it doesn't work on us. None of us are over here saying, oh, yeah, that sure does look like a track mark. We're like, no, we're smart enough to know that if she was using needles in her arms, she would wear a long sleeve shirt, especially to a photo shoot.
And
it's common sense.
Also, I think a lot of people in this day and age have all experienced, whether it's your family, a family friend, we've all experienced people on drugs. It's affected our lives in some way. You know somebody, you might know somebody that's keyed or something, and I think we all know what they look like. You know what I mean?
Ernie has brainwashed me.
I've certainly dealt with family members that have dealt with that. You know what I mean?
Well, here in a minute, Maggie, you're welcome to come up and tell me how Ernie has brainwashed me.
Yeah, I'll be quiet. I would like to hear you on panel. I've never heard you. If you ever do, I'll be quiet.
Why is this doing this again? Okay. I gotta open a new tab here real quick. 230.06. I closed my tab. Okay, 2:30:06.
Only thing I could think of, I thought at first, because I did hear a little of that after, and I'm like, I don't know if there was like a troll, if they were trying to troll. That's the only thing, because I was like, where's the mark?
It just looked like a bump, like you know how your veins sometimes get wiggly and bumpy?
Yes, so
It
I
just looked
asked
like a bump
myself,
on me.
is this the power of suggestion at hand, or is this them trying to troll her? Those are the two things that I weighed,
Right.
in my mind. I'm like,
Ernie wanted to put the thought in the mind that Katie was a junkie because he was mad she was playing the trial.
so it was the power of suggestion you're thinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. More manipulation, like you said. Absolutely. Oh, now I got to share the screen again. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Everybody says that I do.
Cognitive bias.
It's not mastering influence and psychological insight. So, in order to do that, I'll give you an example, and you've probably heard of this before, Homelander. It's like studying emotional influence. Okay, so emotional influence is also can go on to the empathy of emotional intelligence. So, what that's called is an EQ effect. A lot of people don't understand this. Nobody really trains on this, and you probably understand what I'm talking about. Because what it is, it's like empathy. It's active listening. A lot of people don't understand what active listening is. They don't understand about reading body language. They don't understand that knowing what people want. We know their fear. We know the value and what they actually hope for. Everyone has this. Everyone has this. Now, the key is if you're going to influence someone, what you do is you speak to their self-interest, not yours. That is the biggest key right there.
Well,
And he does that. He only does it, though, when he's on an apology tour. Once he's got people in his chat and they're all, the numbers are there, he'll say shit like, get the hell out of here. Why are you people here? I don't need you all. If I tell 10 to leave, 15 show up. So get out of here. But when he's on his apology tour and his numbers are down, then he'll say, oh, hi, Chad. How you doing? How's your mom? How's this? How's that going for you? I really need to pay more attention to you all. Yeah, I know. And that's what he's doing. He's appealing to you like he cares. He's manipulating you to think he cares.
so I let me publicly, make this statement to you. I haven't even said this privately, but I've said it in chats. That 48 laws of power, that mind reading, those books, those are not. I understand it's a book and it's a tool, but that kind of Machiavellian, manipulative, that's not good.
Thank you, Homelander. Homelander redeemed himself in my eyes right there. I thought he was 100% an Ernie butt kisser. But when he called out Ernie just now, saying that those mind control books like that are not good.
Mm.
In a minute, he's going to say only bad people need to use those books. Good people don't need to use those books.
Also,
go ahead.
Well, you can finish. I thought you were done.
No, I forgot what I was going to say anyway.
I didn't know. You know how earlier I said was it the power of suggestion or something else at play here? And because of that, I feel strongly what I witnessed was the power of suggestion. I actually decided to Google it so I could read the definition and see if it resonates with anyone with what they witnessed happening with the arm thing. And I have it pulled up. I could save it or read it now if you'd like. It might resonate with somebody in the chat. Okay. This is why I think the power of suggestion was used on the vein theory, the skinny arm. This is what drug use is. This is it. This is why. Okay. The power of suggestion refers to the influence of that ideas and suggestions can have on thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, often without conscious awareness. It's a psychological phenomenon where an idea is presented and then that idea is acted upon, leading to a change in behavior or a shift in perception. This can be a powerful tool for persuasion, shaping beliefs, and even influencing physical responses. Does that sound familiar?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that's why it popped right into my brain. So I wanted to actual definition to see if it, it applies to what's going on here. Now keep that in mind.
Since we're, doing vocabulary words, test, Machiavellianism is a personality trait that denotes cunningness, the ability to be manipulative, and a drive to use whatever means necessary to gain power. Does that sound familiar?
Mm.
It's one of the traits that forms the dark triad, along with narcissism and sociopath. We've seen the
Which
narcissism.
was on my list.
Right. The term Machiavellianism is also more generally used to characterize the view that politics is amoral. Oh, we don't care about politics. Let me see. And the source for this is.
That's why I didn't know, Lenny J, if it could have been a troll at hand. Was it the power of suggestion or a troll? I don't know enough info because I didn't watch the whole thing. I only saw a tiny little clip. You know what I mean? So I don't know which one was at play. So I presented both ideas because I wasn't sure. I was going to do a mini-series.
CQ.net. I put the link in chat. Okay. Now, go ahead, Sarah.
Oh, I nothing. I'm just looking up something.
Okay, there's that, and there's that. Okay, we'll get back to this now. I want to hear Homelander tell him this is not good again. Take note, 48. What did you say, 48? What? I knew I'd forget it. That's why I wanted to note it. 48 laws of power. In case I forget that, I'll write it in chat. 48 laws of power. Might review that.
Maybe I should add that to my list because I was thinking of doing a mini-series on like the manipulation tactics and stuff.
Yeah.
Not with any specific person in mind, just to present ideas about it. It could be boring to some, but I still might do it. And the Machiavellianism, that might be a good one too.
And don't forget that ninja power book that he read.
Oh, I always wanted that book just because it's a ninja.
Yeah.
Alone, of course. Why not?
You might get some new skills. Baby said Machiavelli was a person who used his influence or power over people. And we hear Ernie say all the time, I'm getting more power. You're making me more powerful. I'm so powerful. I'm more powerful than I've ever been. And he doesn't realize that YouTube doesn't relate to the outside world. You will get no gold stars in heaven for YouTube. You're not gonna win friends and influence people outside of YouTube by your stupid YouTube career.
Well, that's a good way to present it. What's up, everyone? I'm just going to make a video as a thin person. Like I said, I think I'll do it. It's just that it's pouring rain right now, so I'll do it next time I'm at the beach so you have bright sun on it. Are you playing something? Because it's not on the screen.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
I'm like, well, I better say something because it's kind of like quiet right now.
You know me, you better say something.
Yeah, I just realized. I was reading comments going, it's kind of quiet right now.
I didn't hear you say that either. Okay, let me see. We'll go back
I'll
to
tell you.
Highlander's comment.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything after that.
You speak to their self-interest, not yours. That is the biggest key right there.
Well,
It-
so
I think-
I let me publicly, make this statement to you. I haven't even said this privately, but I've said it in chats. That 48 Laws of Power, that mind reading, those books, those are not. I understand it's a book and it's a tool, but that kind of Machiavellian, manipulative, that's not good. I have to be honest. Anybody, I've never
It's
heard you
not.
kind of. Look. There's people out there that I'm sure like the book that are good people, but I personally have never met somebody who quoted and spoke highly about the 48 Laws of Power that was a good, genuine person. Me personally,
Exactly.
in my life, I've never
Exactly.
met someone.
Well-
The people that I've met that kind of use that book as like a blueprint are manipulative and evil. And
they get what they want because there are a lot of business owners.
Did you hear him say they're manipulative and evil? And then Ernie followed up with, "They get what they want." So he's not even saying this book is bad. Ernie's praising this book, and Highlander's putting down this book, and Highlander is nailing Ernie's personality on point.
Mr. T has locks and keys in the chat.
Oh, does he have a question?
I think he has a
Do you have a
couple,
question, Mr.
according
T?
to the key.
Oh yeah, 3. Yep. I know, Kizzy Kazzy. That's where I was like, I heard this part from Homelander, and I listened to it, and I was like, he pretty much calls him on the carpet on the rest of this video, but then he goes back and kisses his ass. I don't understand it. Right. Well, I'll replay it, Mr. Kitty, because I caught that too. He said, if you listen, Homelander, said Homelander, almost said, "I have never heard you speaking to Ern."
Who use that book?
Absolutely.
Robert Greene is the author of that book.
for sure,
That book.
as like a blueprint of
Exactly.
my power that was a good. I have
Question 2.
never met somebody who quoted and spoke highly about the 48 Laws of Power that was a good,
Okay.
genuine person.
Good, honey.
Me personally,
Exactly.
in my life, I've never
Exactly.
met someone,
Well-
the people that I've met that kind of use that book as like a blueprint are manipulative and evil. And
they get what they want because there are a lot of business owners who use that book.
Absolutely.
Robert Greene is the author of that book.
for sure.
If you study who Robert Greene is,
Hey,
now
Gio.
I'm not going to tell you who he is. I'll let you guys do your homework on that. Now, what that book does is it causes your walls to be lowered. It causes your defense mechanisms to be lowered, and other people can get over that. Will you agree?
Yeah, that's the whole,
Now, let's do this again. What he's saying to his subs, he's not talking to us. Remember, he's not talking to us because he's not preaching to us. He's doing this to his subs. Why does he have to do that to his subs if he's genuine?
On that. Now,
What's up, Polly
what that
Dolly?
book does is it causes your walls to be lowered. It causes your defense mechanisms to be lowered, and other people can get over that. Will you agree?
yeah, that's the whole,
So if you're skeptical about Ernie, or you have questions, if he's using this tactic on you, it causes your walls to go down. It causes your purse to open up. It causes you
Hey,
to think,
Michelle.
oh, he is a poor boy that's being picked on.
Hmm.
But remember through this whole thing, he's not using this on any of us. He's using this on his new subs, his old subs, and his subs that he wants to get back. Because he keeps saying, I'll get all my old subs back. I'll get them back. I'll get them back. And like when one goes back, that gives him what he considers air quote power. There's more power because that sub came back.
Well,
Not
what
that
I
he
also
wants you
see
back.
is the behavior when I see people go back too. They get a lot of praise, and I knew you'd be so smart.
Yeah.
They're really fluffed up and put on a pedestal and told how smart they are.
Manipulation.
I know.
Tell them what they want to hear. Like Ernie just said, you got to relate to them. You got to tell them what they want to hear. It's not like Ernie gives a shit about you.
You're very special.
In his numbers, right. Exactly. You're the ambassador for England.
I knew you were the smart one.
Right. You're so smart. I need you for this, and I need you for this because you're the smart one. Beloved Ghost, did you get that? Did you get that note? Did you get that note? Beloved Ghost, think about all the 4 years of notes that you've taken. What the hell has he done with any of them? Not a damn thing. All that work you've done and not a damn thing. Yes, he does groom them money a lot, and you can see. And who just went back? Yeah, not quite a few,
Handful.
but a handful that I didn't think would. I sure didn't think would. But the only reason they went back, well, 2 of them that I know that went back, was because I think Ernie's being picked on relentlessly. I guess they didn't hear about him gonna get Katie's horse and kill it, take it to the glue
Glad I didn't
factory.
hear that.
Oh yeah, it was horrible. And the way he said it with his little voice and his little, his laughs. What the hell do I need a horse for? I'm just going to take it, I'll just sell it, or, wouldn't you shoot a horse, like that?
Thanks, Holly Dolly. See, Holly Dolly's been in that other community too. We've been there. Like, we got to take a break. Things are getting hot over here.
Mm-hmm. You're very special, just like everyone else. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and he's doing it to Queen Ashley now. I wonder. I think it's really weird because here, you got the mean girls who are kissing Ernie's ass, but they're also a subset of the Stan family. Well, the Stan family can't stand Ernie. They've said for all these years they can't stand Ernie. Can't stand Ernie. How he's this and this and this. Well, now the Stan family that are mean girls, some are kissing Ernie's ass. Well, how does that sit? How does that work out? Was you all wrong all these years about Ernie, and now Ernie's a good guy?
Are you mad, Freeside? Because we're at a different community. Would you like a link? Actually, I shared a link one day to one of the communities, one of the shows in the community that I've been chilling in, and big mistake. Won't do that again. One of the master trolls found their way there.
Did they?
Yep.
Yeah, and Lori, are you talking about Lori, Mr. Kitty? Lori says she went back because she was tired of the hate, but she's sitting right in the hate. It just doesn't make sense. Lisa said, someone told me that's why he unblocks everyone every day, because people feel sorry for him being bullied. Absolutely. He needs the trolls. Sarah was a mod for him. Ask Sarah. Ask Sarah how that feels.
Well, other people have said it too when I brought that up. Even people there, they said they don't like when people get unblocked.
Mod.
They were
right.
Yeah, because it's stressful to them. But I also don't know the dynamic lately because I haven't been around, so I don't know what's going on over there lately, to tell you the truth.
Yes, he wants daily harassment so he can complain. That's why he says, oh, they're calling my probation officer. He'll tell you that I've called his probation officer. He'll tell you I called the jail. I never called the jail. I've never called his probation officer. Not once. Not once.
You were accused of that?
Oh, yeah. He said that I had called jail so much, and then when that was through a jail phone call, I heard that. And then here recently he said that I was one that called his probation officer. Lightning Viper says his focus is always on intellectually disabled women and men. I mean, you haven't heard them speak. Chucky doll alone proves it's actually mental defects. There is, but I have seen him suck in intelligent women too. The intelligent women that I've seen him suck in have left. But it's, so besides
I
the
think
mental
some's a
and
troll.
disabled,
I
it's the
think
ones
some's
with
a
a good
troll.
heart. Yeah, it's the ones with a good heart that do believe he's being picked on. They honestly think that's why he needs the trolls. That's why he can never get anybody for harassment, because he gets on here and he harasses just as much as he gives.
Yeah, it's called
It's
engaging,
not like,
but I think some
yeah,
people might be just trolling too. I can't see that it's all, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's some good trolling. Freestyle says I'm rapper. Are you rap? Is that a rapper, Freeside? Or the real Freeside? Will the real Freeside please stand up?
Yeah, because I don't
Rapper,
know. I
rapper
can't
clone
say.
Freeside? I don't know. I
Probably.
can't.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna play
Well,
this.
hi, rapper, if it's really you.
You know, that's all shtick. About I've never even read the book. I won't read it, but I know I've read
Okay.
some bits and pieces here and there.
Pride Kill says over in Ernie's chat, I'm almost sure part of their addiction to Ernie is they're interested in how he attracts people, because they know he has charisma, so they're interested in how it incorporates that for themselves. No, Pride Kills, that's not true. I know how I could get tons of followers. Sit up here and lie my ass off. If I would sit up here and say I'm rescuing children and tell you I'm rescuing children and got people to pick on me, I know the formula. The formula is to find something people
The
care about,
formula.
get people to pick on you, and so you're for you,
Formula.
then lie about it, then use all these manipulation tactics on your audience. That's what Ernie does. Ernie could go live every day and get you people to watch, because he does the same formula every day, but he's only using it on you people. Yeah, it's not us. He's not sucking us in.
Formula. Sorry, I had
It
to say
is the
that.
formula. He thinks that we don't know it, but we're learning it. It's obvious. It's not hard to figure out. I would never, ever use kids or my followers to get air quotes power on YouTube for views. That's just stupid, weird, and
I seriously knows what I'm talking about. The formula. I think some people just know and just want to spot the chill, honestly, quite honestly.
right.
Because
And
they've already expressed that they know in the past. You know what I mean? I get that. You just want to spot the chill.
And they're welcome in other communities, but that would mean, I mean, even if they give up Ernie, you don't have to give up Ernie if you want to go to Sarah's chat. You don't have to, So Sarah might be talking about Ernie, but
it's not all bad though.
Yeah, and it's not hate.
I try to make that really clear when I'm doing those kind of things, that it's for anyone that needs a break or just wants to chill or whatever. But I think what it is they might be afraid of the reaction that happens for going there or something. You know what I mean? Because I'll just continue to make it clear. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to get away from. That just needs to stop. It's just a chat.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone should be able to go in a chat. You know what I mean? This place is getting a little weird here. You can't go in this chat. You can't go in that chat.
Hey, bird. Okay.
Enough to know that was not in pieces here and there. Enough to know that was not what I wanted to put in my head.
So Homelander is saying he has looked at the book enough and knows enough about it to know that that's not a book that he wants to put the garbage in his head, because it's not a good book. If you're a good person, that's not a good book to read. If you're a good person, you don't need that book. But that's one of Ernie's Bibles. So, why is it your Bible, Ernie? And who are you using on it? Using it on. You're not using it on us. You're using it on your people that you already got.
Oh, here's the thing. I know I'm going to get hit with this, but do I use like certain things that we were trained to do? So, you have to understand, is being a bounty hunter. Bounty hunters are trained to do, all sorts of things. That's where the term comes from. We wear different hats in the field. That's true.
Bozo. That goes with just about every career. A nurse wears many different hats in the field. A teacher wears many different hats in the field. A police officer wears many different hats in the field. A guy that works at McDonald's, in fact, wears many hats in the field. He could do the French fries. He does the burgers. He could do the register.
Sarah
That's
wears different
nothing.
hats when she goes to the beach, and sometimes I wear one boot. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yes, everybody wears different hats in the field. I mean, he says that like it's a damn mystery that, oh, wow, Ernie, you're so smart. No.
Literally and figuratively. I was speaking literally just for the fun of it.
Now, do we create the illusion of choice? Well, with skip tracers, let me just say this.
Now he's getting ready to talk about the illusion of choice.
Can I ask
Meaning,
one question? When was this
Mhm.
live? How old is it?
This was 4 days ago.
Okay, thanks.
This was 4 days ago, and he's getting ready to talk about the illusion of choice. Whether you're going to pick what he wants you to pick, regardless of what you want to pick, because he's going to manipulate you into picking what you think you want to pick, but it's because he guided you to pick that. Why do you have to do all that? Sarah, do you do that when you're go live?
I missed the question, quite honestly, from my ADD. I'm polishing my glasses. Say it again, please.
Are you thinking that deep when you go live that you got to make your viewers think what you want them to think? Somehow
Not
you
even
got to
close.
you got to manipulate them into thinking that.
No, I just wanted to turn it on and see what happens today because I haven't been on in a while.
Right. And nobody cares if somebody worshipped your feet that day. It doesn't matter. If they say,
No.
"Oh, Sarah, you're our queen. Oh, Sarah, we're going to put ninjas in our name now because of you."
No,
to me,
I'm the anti of that. I don't like it at
right.
all. I always discourage it because it actually increases it makes more clicks and stuff like that, and which will turn into like high school
To me,
gang.
it's dirty feeling. It just feels like ick. Like when I had that tiger thing in my name, it
It's a
just felt
setup
like,
too.
yeah,
It'll set
it
you up
just,
to I've seen like some of the people that in the past, not anytime lately that I've noticed, but I have seen like where the people that have the tiger and lightning bolt go into another chat and they get picked on, you know what I'm saying? Just for wearing that
mhm,
on their name. So it just really sets you up to have other
mhm.
people pick on you or whatever.
And if Ernie was a good guy, people would welcome you into chats. Hey, tigers, come on into our chat. Yeah, no big deal.
But we
But
also
out,
have different goals on here, so I'm not really a good comparison because he's probably trying to build like a big old channel and get famous. I'm just here for a different reason, so it's not,
right.
you know what I
This
mean?
isn't power to us.
I'm just chilling when I come on here. He's trying to be famous, I think, or have a big, huge channel.
Dragon God, would it matter if Lisa K's 70? Who cares? I don't care if she's over 18, that's all I got to know.
True.
So,
That's important here.
yeah.
With being a skip tracer and someone
I
of
didn't
my
know that,
character,
Michelle.
do I create the illusion of choice? Yes, I'll give you the illusion of choice. A lot of people don't understand what it is. I'll tell you what it is. What it is I let others pretty much feel like they're making a decision, even if I'm guiding them to that decision that I want them to make. Do you?
So he lets them feel like they're making the decision. They're the ones making the decision, even if it's him guiding them to the decision he wants them to make. Why do you have to do all that? I've never thought about doing that to my followers over here. Now he'll say here in a minute, Connie, he was talking about when he's a skip tracer. Oh no, keep listening, because he says he uses all this currently.
You agree, Homelander?
Yeah, and to you are putting into words something that is human nature, and we all do innately, right? We all, even since we were little kids, we would try and get the other kids to play the game we wanted to play. This is human nature, and it's something we all do. And when you're younger and your frontal lobe isn't as developed, you're a little more, uh, you're not a very, you're a little more harsh about it. Maybe when you're a kid, you're more likely to kind of use those manipulation tactics and to get what you want, right? Especially if you come from like an abusive environment,
Now, Homelander's nailing him here on his childhood. Yeah, that might have been something you wanted to use when you was a kid, and you wanted to get your way from the other kids. And Homelander didn't say it, but I'll add on to it. When you're picked on, and you learn defense mechanisms. That's how they become sociopaths and narcissists. Your mind learns ways to protect itself from pain, ridicule, being abused. So if you
coping mechanisms and defense. Yes.
Yeah, that's the right word for it. Coping mechanisms. So you
Yeah.
just can get through life. So Homelander's calling him on that now.
Everybody
like that are generally going to do what they have to do to get what they need when they need it. That being said, as we move into adulthood, you have to make a decision. Am I going to shed that behavior and grow into something better? And not even, wait, let me rewind that, because whether you're 70 or 7, maybe not 7, 70 or maybe 17, you can make the decision. Do I want to be the kind of person who manipulates to get what I want? Or do I want to be the kind of person who is just a good, genuine person?
There you go.
Hello, Dr. Pepper Rapper.
Early in your adulthood, in your teen years, you realize, do I want to be someone that manipulates people to get what I want? Or do I just generally want to be a good person? Well, we see which Ernie's chose. He's telling us. He's telling us right now which one he chose. The 48 something of power. I can't remember it all. And that he manipulates people. Instead of being a good person, I don't know why in his mind that he doesn't think being a good person. Because I really believe that if he was a good person, I used to say that if he was a good person, just be himself, he could have a crowd. But I don't think that anymore. I think he's got to have something. The hate, the bullies, the kids. He's got to have some pull. He can't just come on here and talk like, say, Mama T does. Mama T, that's something I give her credit for. I have to have something to go over. I don't think I could talk for 2 hours or 3 hours, just talk.
Mm-hmm.
Might be able to.
I used to do that a lot. Just wing it. Just turn it on and just. I used to do that a lot. I don't do that so much anymore. I try to have some kind of an idea.
Yeah, especially if I had to not use anything, like no videos or nothing, just talk like she does. That's kind of hard, That's, and she still pulls an audience.
Yeah, depending on what you got going on in the audience, that's true. And also, I would like to thank the person that sent a few bucks for my Reese caramel cups. I can't stop eating those gosh dang things every day.
Here they had the Reese's Halloween candy. Cheap, because none of it's hardly sold.
Oh, all the good stuff goes fast.
Yeah.
But the caramel ones, I seriously eat 2 or 3 every night. I don't know how I sleep. I can't stop eating them. They're so heavenly. They're freaking heavenly. It's just a little bit of caramel in the bottom. Like when I go to the grocery store, I buy like 10 of them. I buy the whole box that's on the shelf. Like I can't. That's how, so I really do appreciate that. And I probably will use it for that.
Super Soldier, I have Ernie's resume. I should go over one day.
Yes, she did get it. She did get the resume, and wasn't it like 3 or 4 pages, or was it bigger?
6 pages.
Oh, okay. And we went over, I remember adding up the years of experience one point, and it was like 186 years of working experience. So that was pretty impressive.
If he did everything he said, yeah. I don't think it's Ernie's Meemaw. I think it was his mom and dad. I think his Meemaw tried her best, just from what I've heard. But I
Good to
think by
hear,
the time
Rapper.
Meemaw got him, the damage was done. I don't know when they went to live with Meemaw, but I think about around 8 or 9, just in my opinion, 5 to 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's when things develop in your brain. In my opinion, I don't know if I'm right or not, but that's just what I think.
The young mind's like a sponge. Certainly those
Yes,
first 3 years are very crucial. I know that for a
yes,
fact.
right. Okay, back to this.
And who
Oh, a comment over here in Ernie's chat says, Stormy says, how about instead of using manipulation, just be authentically empathetic, right? And Twisted R says, I'm not about mind effing people. I just want to get to know someone. No need to manipulate them. Just saying.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of good feedback
tried
actually from people about that, where he doesn't need to do that.
Mhm.
He's had a lot of feedback from many different people throughout the years that I've noticed that says, you just got a fun personality, charismatic. Like, people have given him good things to go on, just being himself. So it's not like nobody's ever told him. I've seen many people say that.
And there's millions of creators on YouTube that don't use mind tactics. Even if they're a little bit smart ass or something.
And he can be
They're
funny.
funny. Yeah, and you can be funny. You don't need to use mind tactics. But if you grow up, that's your defense mechanism, and that's all you know, and you think your power comes by making Bobby play t-ball instead of soccer today. Don't you really want to play soccer today, Bobby? You don't want to play t-ball, do you? Come on, let's go play soccer. Okay, let's go play soccer. You just manipulated him. He was
Well,
manipulating Tina on panel last night. He was trying to get her address.
wait,
And he's like,
Tina?
Tina, you don't have an address. Yeah.
Holistic?
Tina wasn't on panel, but she was in his chat. And he's like, Tina, you don't have an address. And she's like, yes, I do. No, you don't. You don't have an address. You just live up in the hills in the farm. He was wanting her to say, yes, I do.
to do the right.
Oh, I didn't know she went on the panel.
No, she didn't. She wouldn't go up on the panel.
Oh, didn't? Okay.
She was just in chat.
Oh, okay.
She was talking to him from chat. Ernie is a convict. He served a jail time. That's enough. A convict is convicted. He was convicted of a charge. He is a convict. Do I need to look up the vocabulary word convict?
I'll get you the real definition if you like.
What's it say?
Let me just pull it up for you.
We'll have a test after. What you
Convict
call it?
definition, just for clarity. Convict. What is the true meaning of convict? A convict is a person who has been found guilty, convicted of a crime, and is serving a sentence in prison.
Oh, well, maybe she's right. Serving a sentence in prison. Well, he'll be a convict.
Now, there's also says, what does it mean to call someone a convict? A convict is a person found guilty of a crime and sentenced by a court, or a person serving a sentence in prison. Convicts are often also known as prisoners or inmates, or by the slang term con, while a common label for former convicts, especially those recently released from prison, is ex-con.
So there you go. We're both right.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, so it would be more correct to say ex-con, if that makes you feel any better, according to this.
Yeah.
So yes.
Then you see, she educated us a little bit today.
I'll try to be fair on it.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, ex-con. Yeah.
That's how you learn things. Okay, here we go.
Thing and doesn't like to manipulate to get, and win person. Be the kind of 70 or 7, maybe not 7, 70 or maybe 17. You can make the decision. Do I want to be the kind of person who manipulates to get what I want? Or do I want to be the kind of person who is just a good, genuine person and who tries to do the right thing and doesn't like to manipulate to get, and you make that decision, you try your best to stick to it. But what I'm trying to say is to what you were saying is that it's human nature. We all do that a little bit.
Thank you, Fizz Crank.
Hopefully,
So here's the thing: when I was younger,
Reese cups for you.
I had to do certain things
Yeah.
to get in
Well,
Eggs.
and to get out.
eggs
So
to the egg funds.
I used these tactics.
I need eggs, actually.
Like, I'll give you an example. And you probably you probably know what I'm talking about when I say this. Like when I was doing a repo business, into the repo business, we, our main objective was to get the, what we call the collateral, which is the vehicle that we're after, the item. Let's just say the item. Let's just say that. So we done anything possible we could to retrieve that forfeiture, or to retrieve that that vehicle. Let's just say that. So by doing that, I focused on training myself. What I already knew.
Aw, thanks,
I
Twisted
focused
Dar.
it, and I just kind of like created the illusion of choice. I did the mirror and match. The whole psychological.
Now he's talking about when he was, into repossessing cars. Now his little tigers are going to come back and say, Connie, he was talking about when he repossessed cars, he did all this. Oh, no, no, no. You'll hear in a minute him say how he uses it presently.
Just
You know what I'm
real
talking
quick,
about.
Twisted Dar, I took that picture at the beach the other day because I was wearing the romper. Remember the romper I've been telling you guys I was going to post a picture so long, the black floral romper, just like Mama T, when I was shooting clips to make a video, which I didn't make the video yet. It'll be coming soon. Thank you.
You're welcome, Fizz Crank. I sat on this for a while, but then I was like, no, I got to say something. I've sat on this long enough.
That.
Yeah.
It's like what happens is people that trust, like who look, act, and sound like them. Okay,
Oh,
so if I was going into an area where it was all thuggish, well, of course, I'm going to become a thug. You see, they train law and okay, so they train like undercover detectives like this right now. Like they have to blend in with their environment. You cannot and here's what most police fail at. If you watch some of these videos, some of these cops, they go into these places that's supposed to be selling drugs or something like that, and they walk in. I'm going to tell you right now, there's some people out there who can spot a cop a mile away. That damn walk and the way they do things, the way they front up on things.
Oh, we've talked about this.
Exactly.
You got to score a certain number on your leap too to be able to. Anyway, that's probably too much info.
Too much info, brother.
Okay, I hear Homelander's starting to be a little like Ernie. Like he's trying to give the hint that he's something special, like a cop or something. And Homelander, the reason we don't believe you is because Ernie's not believable and you've backed Ernie. So that makes you suspicious. Now, if Ernie was a good guy and didn't come on here and lie, if you said you were a cop, we wouldn't even think anything. We'd say, yeah, he's a cop. If Sarah had a cop on her panel, I wouldn't be all like, where's your credentials? Because I know Sarah's not going to have a cop on that's not a cop.
I ain't going to have a cop on anyway. Just saying.
Yeah, but
I just want to say that. I know I'm just being contrary for the content.
Right. That's why you try to have a good reputation from go. You don't want your reputation tarnished. You don't send somebody out to say, hey, are you that bounty hunter? That was from go, people.
That's a tarnishment. Didn't they come? Somebody told me they were on the panel the other day. Is that true?
Yes, she was. She's an Ernie supporter.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Yep. And I think that's because China doesn't want people to talk, talking shit on her. And Ernie talks so much shit on her. It's just easier to be, forget the $700 in Yoga and all the shit he said about you.
I mean, maybe. That's true. Could be.
I wouldn't, but that's not me.
Yeah.
To each his own.
And it's a personality type that works well in law enforcement and other professions that has generally has a more black and white view of morality.
Right. But the trick is training your subconscious. So here's the thing: if you're sitting there and you're knowing you're a cop, okay, it don't matter how good of an actor you are, and you're portraying to somebody, and you're putting your act. You're pretty much you're trying out for this part is what you're doing, but it's real life. So in your head, you're knowing you're a cop. So you have to become something totally different. That's your subconscious, So when you're trusting and when you're looking and you're acting and you're sounding like people who are different from you, you're going to stand out because in your head, you don't believe it anyways because you're there to do a job. If you're doing it for a job, then you're not doing it for your heart. You get what I'm saying? That's not fair.
This works well as just at a poker table too.
Exactly. So when you match, so what you do is you kind of match one's tone, you match posture, their energy.
Well, so I read this in the mind control book because I read a little bit of that book too about you match their breathing.
Got the book too.
The Ninja Mind Control. The Ninja Mind Control.
I don't know if it's Ninja Mind Control, but I've read
it's in the fucking book, Homelander. It's in the fucking book.
I looked for it on Amazon, but I didn't want to pay for it. It was too much. I'll look in the used section. You know how sometimes Amazon you can look over and it shows used copies? It was like $30, the new one. I'm like, I ain't buying that. That's a lot.
I think the one I seen the cheapest was $13.
That's like a whole cup. That's like a whole pack of eggs here.
We need to grift for you for $13 to get the book, or maybe even the whole 20 for the. How much was the one that was brand new?
I think it was like $30. That's why I didn't buy it.
Oh hell!
I was like, hell no, that's a lot. Like I said, that's a pack of eggs. I'll look for a used one.
That's a pack of eggs. It sure is.
And
in case you're new here and you don't know, Ernie was pretty proud of this video, and I have the clip.
eBay, good idea. There's also a thrift store. There's a bookstore online. It's called Thrift Store Books, where you can get used ones. But I like the Amazon used book section too, because I like Amazon because it's faster. Holly Dolly seen the comment.
Let me see if I can find it in my videos.
I used to have an Amazon Fire tablet, but a long time ago, I loved that thing. I had all my books on it, but it broke.
Oh, I gotta switch.
Hello, MacB.
Okay, this is Ernie, and it's a clip from.
Good question about the eggs.
Yeah, I'll probably tell you on here because I usually tell you where it's from. But it was like 2023, 2022 maybe. But this was Ernie. Mind control and how to disappear.
The eggs are starting to go down a little. They were up to $15 here for the ones I get.
This was May 11th, 2022. And it's from Jen.
Oh, how to disappear, huh? Yeah, okay. Video date, May 11th, 2022.
Exactly, Locksmith.
They're real good. It's mind control.
There's the book.
It's helped me out on YouTube.
It's helped him out on YouTube, he said.
How to Disappear is a good one.
Oh my God.
Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks.
I'm going to look up that one too.
He's telling you right there. He just used it on YouTube. And who's he using it on YouTube? Not his haters. He's using it on those that trust him.
There must be good shit in the How to Disappear book because he did make it successful on the run for quite some time. So maybe that book was valuable after all.
Yep. True story. Sweet Katie says over here in Ernie's chat, pride kills. Wow, that's crazy. I find it fascinating watching people be super manipulative. See, that's why Super Katie, I've always thought she was a bit evil, and why you're probably a mod for Ernie. And why you like Nicolina. Being super manipulative to me is like mean. Can you be super manipulative good? I guess you could if you were doing positive, things, but if you're doing positive things, you don't need to manipulate. Right? That's to me, only a person that's a shitty person needs to manipulate either way. Okay. Oh, I gotta share again.
Ninja mind control, but I've got
It's in the
mind
it's in the
control, and
fucking book, Homelander. It's
let me tell
in
you
the
this.
fucking book.
Look, I was like 16 years old.
No,
and
asshole.
I
You
wanted to.
hitting me.
No, I
Listen,
wanted
listen here, Venom. You're hitting me with the damn. You're hitting me with this ninja mind control book. Now I know what you're doing.
No, I don't. I don't know. I don't know what the book. I know it was mind control. And I thought that I really thought that it was something else. But I remember one of the things from it is, let's say you're on a first date and you want to, or not. Let's say you want to ask somebody, a girl out on a date or a boy out on a date, and you're you set your breathing to their breathing, right? You want to breathe at the same pattern that they're breathing.
Now or not?
And then you want to. There's a couple of things that
Can
lead
you
down the
see it
line,
or
but
not?
then when you ask the question, you want to
I
physically.
can see it. Yeah, kind of.
Can you hear it too?
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah.
Okay.
When you have the pinned
Jody-
comments, it kind of blocks it, but it's I
Jody
don't know if
might be
you're
a
trying
little
to.
behind.
If they're not showing on screen, you can sometimes zoom in. Actually, I don't think you can that way. I was gonna say so you
I
can
think
see
she
the
might
comments.
just be a little behind because I didn't have it up there for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna play it again. Make sure you can hear it and see it.
I can zoom in on my phone.
touch them. Like you just want to reach out and maybe touch their arm and say, "Do you want to go out Friday?" And
bingo, touch, sensitive touch.
Yes, this has
Exactly.
anyway, I just that's the
Now
only
you're
thing I
giving my
remember
dating
from.
techniques away. You're giving everything away. I'm not
It's
getting
just
no
funny
cash
that
apps. You do understand that. I'm not getting no cash apps on this show.
Well,
See, he uses it for cash apps. Now they're going to come back and say, "Oh, he was just kidding." No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Homelander here is holding his little feet to the fire, and he's not liking it, so he's trying to joke it off like, "No, no, he's so serious. He's just trying to make it a joke." He's trying to come at Homelander, but he knows he can't because he must respect Homelander a bit. Or
They both
no,
read the book. It's not going to work.
Yeah, he's going to use Homelander somehow how he wants. So he doesn't want to piss Homelander off. He's got Homelander in his back pocket, so he doesn't want to piss him off. That's what I think.
Go touch.
This say to their breathing, right? You want to breathe at the same pattern that they're breathing, and then you want to. There's a couple of things that lead down the line, but then when you ask the question, you want to physically touch them. Like you just want to reach out and maybe touch their arm and say, "Do you want to go out Friday?" And
bingo.
It's not going to work on all of us.
Yes, this has.
Not all of us like to be touched. Some of us might slap you in response.
Right, I don't like to be touched, especially by someone that's the weirdo mindset of mind control. And you can feel their vibe.
Yep.
You can feel their vibe.
That's not going to work online, the whole breathing thing, because you can't really see, not all the time,
Right. And a granny's touch, like a granny at church, patting you on the shoulder, is not what we're talking about. We're talking about a weird touch, just inappropriate, wrong timing. In my
grandma one's okay. I like a little grandma pat.
Mm-hmm. This smells like double mint gum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Over here in Ernie's chat, Pride Kill says, Lisa, you are right. And it's innate ability. They need to learn what specialty they have. We're all born with something. Their hang up on him isn't helping them tap into their own uniqueness. Well, I'm pretty damn unique, and Sarah's pretty unique. And
wait a minute.
Tapped into that without manipulation.
Can you read that one more time, please?
Yes. Pride Kills says, Lisa, you're right. And it's innate, and it's an innate ability. They need to learn what specialty they have. As we're all born with something, their hang up on him isn't helping them to tap into their own uniqueness. Meaning we're so focused on Ernie that we don't know how special we are and what good things we can do. Sarah does good things all the time. I do good things all the time.
Yeah, all kinds of
So
other things.
that's very wrong. I don't know where you're getting your source and your information, but
It's just assumption.
that's
They can't see the whole
more.
picture on here. You know what I mean? They're only just looking at one little small
They've been
aspect.
mind controlled,
Or
thinking that we're
yeah,
these big bad trolls, that we're just
yeah.
so focused on Ernie and we hate Ernie and we want Ernie taken down. And this, I don't hate Ernie. I don't hate Ernie. I don't like a
And,
lot of shit he does, but I'll hate him.
and it's also generalizing. I don't like the there, those kind of comments because it tends to people group and generalize everybody as the same and not individual because not everybody's style is the same here.
Right.
Anyway, I just that's the
Now
only
you're
thing I
giving my
remember
dating
from.
techniques away. You're giving everything away. I'm not
It's
getting
just
no
funny
cash
that I-
apps. You do understand that. I'm not getting no cash apps on this show.
Well,
because of you.
I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to that's part of when
There
I
you go.
saw the books that you had there and stuff. I was like,
no.
I know some of his tricks, and I want to I want to call him out on those, and I want him to be more genuine.
I'm
See, Homelander says, I want Ernie to be more genuine. So he's calling him out on his bullshit. But then in the next breath, on the next live, he'll co-sign for him being a captain in the army or some other bullshit. So when I first heard this, I was like, Homelander, you've impressed me. And he emailed me saying he wasn't Ernie one time, and I just kind of ignored it. But I was going to email him back and say, well, hey, you were kind of impressive with Ernie this night. Because he did. He held him, he kind of called him on his bullshit. But then the next live, he bought into all of Ernie's fakeness again. Which is not calling on it.
But there's been others on here that do that too in the past. And other past, I don't want to pick any on one certain person, but I've seen some of his previous friends, for instance, that did that would verify and say, yes, he did talk to Trump's son. I've seen him. You know what I mean? It's because they might have been told that in the past. So then they have it in their head that that's really true, or they might believe something without, you know what I mean, seeing it or any tangible evidence of it. They're just going on what they were told from before. You know
or
what I'm
it
saying?
was AI, an AI conversation that was told to you that it was him. And you might have heard a bit of it.
I just use that as an example. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
they might think it's true.
And if you're really a friend of Ernie's, and I'm serious about this 100%, if you really care about Ernie and you're a real friend of Ernie's, like Jody was, you will call him on his bullshit. You don't play into his sickness and his weirdness. You call him on his bullshit, and that's how Ernie gets to be a better person, not by playing along. Homelander emailed me and just said, for the record, I'm not Ernie. I got something much more to do than to, play Ernie. I didn't even reply back because I was like,
was it a long time ago?
No, it was probably a month ago. Because I said in Ernie's chat, I said, Homelander's Ernie. It was about a month ago because he was kissing Ernie's butt. Because Homelander usually always kisses Ernie's butt.
It used to seem like it.
Yeah. He would call him like Major Shell and stupid shit like that. Like he believed all of his, crap. And, I was like, surely you can't be serious.
Yes, Mr. Kitty.
Explaining it to you right now. Look, I read your message loud and clear. I want people to cash app me and donate to me, and I don't want no mama teas in here. You son of a bitch.
He's trying to joke it off. He's not really.
So you might as well apologize because I just outed your ass on that one.
If you enjoy the content, you can give something for the content. If you enjoy the banter and but if you're just here for the to hate and you don't have to give anything.
Oh, I'm sure people that hate won't give anything, but the banter, that's where I'm back on Homelander's ass. If you're here for the banter, no, it's not banter. Banter is what, let me think, me and Betty Washam do. I don't hate Betty, but like I'll make funny videos of Betty and Betty will laugh back at me. You know, Betty will cuss me back, and I'll cuss Betty. But then at the end, we laugh at each other. You know, that's banter. Saying you're going to kill somebody's horse, saying you rescue children, saying you know you do all these lies. That's not banter. So why would anybody ever pay for Ernie's entertainment? That's not entertaining to me. Occasionally he could be somewhat entertaining, but then when you think of all the gross shit he's done, it's not entertaining.
He has been funny before. It's all in the perception. I mean, you know what I mean, of
Mhm.
what you're watching. There's people that enjoy it there, so.
But I always like, if he makes me laugh once, I always got to remember the grossness, you know, like, no, that might have been funny this time, but no. And what he wants to do is he wants to influence. He's so pissed that he can't win Katie over. He needs people to his side. Like, remember the apology tour of what year, when a certain creator needed to get more subs because she lost all hers? Then she went on the apology tour. That's what Ernie's is doing now. Here's my hand. Come out and take my hand. We'll call it bygones be bygones. We don't have to, you know, it's not that he's going to forgive you or forget any of what you said. He's needing the numbers. He's needing the people to come back to his side, you know. And so we got the mean girls over there. Oh, he's strutting around like a peacock, you know. He's got Queen Ashley over there. That's nothing. He doesn't care about Queen Ashley. He wants Queen Ashley as a pawn. So
well, he might feel more empowered is what could be happening. More emboldened as feeling more backed up right now.
That's a good word. I was thinking of it yesterday. Emboldened.
Yes, that's what came to mind.
He used to be funny, but once he reveals who he is, he's no longer funny or interesting. Right. When he shows who he really is, it's just another manipulation. And like Honeybee said, under that funny, there's a lot of darkness. I've known narcissists that are funny as AF, you know, hilarious, but yeah, a ton of darkness. It's another coping mechanism.
Nobody else.
So, so I promise you guys, in this live, that Homelander has completely destroyed my mentality over you all, my power and everything. So I promise I will not ask leading questions or set up environments or options that guide your behavior and you not even knowing it. I will not do that during this. I promise you guys, I will not try to act like you or look like you or even sound like you. I will not bother your subconscious mind. I promise that.
He's trying to make it funny, but he's telling you, and he does this a lot. He's straight ass telling you. He's straight ass telling you what he does, but he's trying to make it a joke so you laugh it off. But who's he talking to? When he says, I will not, you know, try to do this to you, he's not talking to us, his haters. He's talking to you people that supposedly love him. Why would he have to do that? Why does he got to control y'all's mind? That's weird.
So I promise I will not ask leading questions or set up environments or options that guide your behavior and you not even knowing it. I will not do that during this. I promise you guys, I will not try to act like you or look like you or even sound like you. I will not bother your subconscious mind. I promise that. I will not match your tone. I will not match your posture, your energy, or phrasing. I won't create an instant report, okay? I promise you that. I promise that I'll never believe this fucking Homelander because he has outed me and he understands that he appears confident and calm and certain, even if I'm unsure of his confidence because it's fucking contagious.
I'm not confident.
Over here in the chat, Pride Kill says, Sweet Katie, yes, it's fascinating. Remember, Sweet Katie said she loved watching people be super manipulative? Sweet Katie, yes, it's fascinating. But when we're manipulated, it isn't much fun. LOL, we've all done it sometime in our life.
I'm going to run and I'm just going to go charge my lamp. I forgot to plug my headlamp in case I go out like a dork tonight on the beach. Be right back.
Okay. Sweet Kitty said, yes, it's fascinating. But when we're manipulated, it isn't much fun. We've all done it sometime in our life, even if it's unconsciously. as it's a human trait for survival. So pride kills is even agreeing with what Homelander said, agreeing with me that it's not good, yet she won't call Ernie out on it not being good. And it is a trait that Ernie learned for survival.
It's contagious.
But I let me be clear. I don't know. We all have ingrained habits that we develop as, babies. Even I don't know if I can. Even I don't know if I. I don't know if I can help. I don't know if I have, but I want to try and help Ernie to not rely on the 48 laws of power and a mind control book.
So Homelander saying he's trying to help Ernie, which is more than most of his supporters have come out and said. At least I'll give Homelander credit for that too. For saying he's trying to guide Ernie into not being like that. Homelander is just going to be disappointed because it's too ingrained. It's too ingrained in Ernie. The only reason Ernie is letting Homelander call him on his shit like this and out him is because he's going to need Homelander for something else down the road. And he can't, avoid pissing Homelander off. If you or I was to go over and tell Ernie what Homelander's saying, he wouldn't have it. No, not at all. If Renee Marie was telling him this, he would argue with her. But for some reason, he needs Homelander. So
I
he
don't
can't.
think it's the same though.
Go ahead.
Gotta switch mics. Did you hear me?
I heard you. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I was just saying, I don't know if it's if I was behind because I put my earbud on for a second about being friends with Homelander. You just said something like when I was on my way back to sit down, that something like if you had said something like Homelander said, it would be different, or I don't know. How'd you say that again? You said you couldn't
If
go over
I
and
was,
say what he said, right?
yeah, if I was the one that said that, what Homelander did, he'd have been all kinds of, you're stupid, you're ignorant, you're stupid, you don't know
You're
nothing.
ignorant. Yeah, but there's also a difference here. You don't have a good rapport with him ever, and this guy did. So I have to say that it's not actually the same.
But even if Renee Marie said it, he'd argue with Renee Marie. He wouldn't, he would be like, he would be all like dancing around it. Yeah, but, and this and this. For some reason, he's just laughing at Homelander. He's yucking it up, thinking, kind of like a nervous. What else is he going to do? But he must need Homelander for something.
I just don't think you were ever friends with him where he has been is the only difference that I see. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Yeah, we've never been
might
friends.
need something from him. That could be true.
Later on down the line. Where did I see that? Mr. Kitty said he's also saying that Mr. Shell does do those things, and that is how Mr. Shell is as a person, which most people already know. Right. All of us over here already know this. The only people that don't know it is his followers. So again, who's he really manipulating? He's not manipulating any of us. We already know how he is. He's manipulating his followers. And like Pride Kill said, it doesn't feel good to be manipulated. That's why I wanted the Tigers to listen to this and then come tell me, how do you feel? How do you feel that you've been manipulated? Will you admit that you've been manipulated? You probably won't. I'm sure they won't come over here and admit it. But Ernie's right here straight ass telling them they've been manipulated. So they cannot deny that they haven't been manipulated. And it only gets worse. There's a whole other story.
Some yes, and there's different levels of that, so-called, I guess, alleged manipulation, because some do know, and there could be different things going on here. Where I said earlier, there could be some trolling at hand, and they're also, some are deep in deeper than others. Some are just there for a hangout spot, I think. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kind of. That's what I kind of think.
And there's a lot of them that over there that are trolling Ernie that he doesn't realize. I mean, there's some of his mods that are trolling Ernie that really don't believe any of the shit Ernie's saying. They just like to be part of the drama.
Hang out.
The more controversy there is, or the more, the more hate there is, that's the chat they want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I need a brain scan? I'm not the one being manipulated. What did? Oh, psychopaths have a distinctive brain structure and function in comparison to non-psychopaths. Right, but Dragon God, we're not the ones over here doing the manipulation. None of us are using mind control on anybody. None of us are being Machiavellian about this. The only one that's doing that is Ernie.
I'm trying to fairly assess from both sides, whatever you say,
Right, and that's good.
And I want to, just as a friend, I want to say, hey, remember, you're better than that. You were raised better than that. You got to.
He's telling Ernie, hey, quit that. You were raised better than that. And I do believe his granny tried. But by the time granny got him, I think it was too late.
I would like to know how long they've been had a relationship too, because that says something different. Like somebody like Margaret, for instance, who's known him for quite some time and used to consider him a little brother. You know what I mean? Like, how long has this guy known him? You know what I mean? It could, maybe they haven't.
I guess Homelander talks to traders. I guess traders and Homelander have had either a back and forth or a rapport. I don't know. I just noticed
I
Homelander.
had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't either. I had just noticed Homelander maybe a year, maybe. Because I thought it was a fake account of Ernie's when I see it.
Oh, yeah, I've been seeing them a long time. I thought it was an alt.
Yeah. I did too. I honestly did too. Because it was always kissing Ernie's ass.
Same kind of things his alts say. The same kind of thing.
Yeah, his major shell or some stupid shit like that. But how are we being trolled? How are we being trolled? I'll drop a link here in a minute when I get past the second part. And you can come up here and explain to me how I'm being trolled.
I'm open to all of it. I think
if Ernie is trolling, then Ernie cannot go to the judge and say that we are harassing him. Because if Ernie's doing this all on purpose, and Ernie has said, just like with the phone calls to jail, oh, I knew you guys were listening. That's why I said all that. So you said all that so we would bitch at you? You wanted us to come at you? That's hardly a victim. To me, somebody would just say the truth so people didn't come at him. But if he wants people to come at him, then he can hardly sue for harassment. In my opinion.
Better heart than that.
So
it might not work. Okay.
Okay.
I'm
so
sure
let
there's
me
a
tell
ton
you
of
what.
people. I just,
Okay. So let me tell you what Homelander's just done. We had a bunch of Kool-Aid that was there. Homelander just poured all the Kool-Aid out. So beloved Ghost, have Charlie make some more Kool-Aid because we're going to need it.
yeah.
And see, he's joking about that, but he's really not. Homelander has just told on Ernie straight out. It just straight out. Homelander told on Ernie because Ernie told on himself. So here you got Ernie telling on himself. You got Homelander telling on him, and Ernie saying, "Dude, you just ruined my whole facade, my whole chat. People are going to be running away, but I don't know if they get it because Ernie played it off as a joke, and it wasn't a joke. It's not a joke. It's 100% what's happening. He's not
when caught in
controlling.
the heat, sometimes you have to come up with something. So maybe a joke is easier. You know what I'm saying? You got to come up with something.
Right. That nervous laugh of his, he, and yeah. And since when is cancer a troll? Why would you even say cancer until you knew it was cancer?
I think it was easier to say than the other thing to explain an illness. And I think that's what happened. Just a guess.
Right. He didn't want it. But, he should have said nothing at all then. Or he should have said some other, I think he said cancer because he knew cancer would get at the heartstrings. That was a good one. Because there's millions of things he could have said that he did. But no, cancer was to, cover up for this.
It could be he wanted to come up with something to explain all the illness that was starting to happen, and people were noticing. So maybe it was easier to say that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong or anything. I'm just stating what I think, that he might have just done that thinking it was easier to say to explain all the illness, because clearly there was an issue.
Yeah,
and he was probably embarrassed. I guess I'm just saying, like an idea.
He probably was. Mr. Kitty, I don't think Renee ever left him. she wanted the heat off of her, so she said she left him, but she didn't. You know,
Hey,
she's
Sally.
still over it.
Homelander is pouring it out right now.
I got a statement.
I
That
have a
would like
habit
to
of
make.
kicking the Kool-Aid bucket over. Go ahead, Charlie. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah,
No worries.
Ernie calls him again.
So I wanted to be saying this like 20 minutes ago when you.
Trying to think if I remember
There's
that.
a thing I used to do when I got out of the army and I went back to New York. I used to go to because I wasn't too far away from. I lived on Long Island. I used to go to Central Park a lot in the summertime, and what I used to do there because it actually calmed me down with anxiety and just bad thoughts. It would clear my mind. And what I would do, it's probably a free psychology class. You could do this on your own. I would buy a notebook and a pen, and I would just sit down and describe all the people that I passed by me, like what they were wearing, what they were eating, why did they do this, why did they sit in that direction, and then I would get pages of that, and then I would go home, and I would try to figure out myself why did they wear those pair of pants. Why was the guy dressed in a suit? No,
So
it works. It actually works.
The
And
word
I
I
would
was
make my own story for the people.
And that's really insightful, Charlie. Actually, what that would help me do, I don't want to speak as if I know anything.
Right.
What that
Right.
would help me do is that would help me with mindfulness. You know,
Right,
it would help me to
exactly.
Yeah.
not think of,
I'm a
like, not be
school
worried
level.
about the future and not be stressed
Right.
about the past. It would help
Well-
me to be just mindful of what I'm looking at and what's in front of me. But the word
Right.
is Sonder has their own life, and there's a reason why they wore those pants that morning. Sonder.
And I want you to burn that son of a bitch because Homelander just got you too.
No,
He just-
No,
he
that's
just got
okay.
you
That's
too.
good.
It
It's a good like if
I
think
used to enjoy doing that. I really
Yeah, I don't
did. I used to enjoy doing
I
it.
don't think Charlie was taking notes so he can figure out how to scam their
Yeah,
their
exactly.
social security check from.
There he throws him under the bus again. He says, well, at least with Charlie, I don't think he was trying to take notes so he could scam him out of the next social security check like Ernie does. Ernie does his manipulation so he can, get what he needs, whether it's your check now, whether it's tacos, whether it's dry begging. He's manipulating.
I think Charlie found peace and therapeutic activity in writing. So it was probably the writing
Right.
that helped calm him down. That was the stress relief for him, was probably the writing activity.
And it wasn't nefarious. It was something that helped him because it helped him. He wasn't doing it to get somebody,
Yes. Well, some people find writing therapeutic. They do
Yeah.
journalism or journaling and,
Right. And we don't want him taking no retirements either.
Yeah, no
he is
retirement. Yeah.
He is moving to Tennessee. He is moving to Tennessee.
They'll be saying that tomorrow.
Now I know where he's getting that money at. I see what he's
Following
doing.
them
He's
old
taking-
ladies, taking notes, and
He's
breathing
taking-
like they're
Do it
breathing.
again, Mr. Kitty.
But you know what, though? Also, I've been learning a lot ever since Homelander came into this community here because he's got a lot of insight on things.
Honeybee says, I don't think Ernst's people are picking up what Homelander was putting down. I don't think they were. That's why I decided to go over this live and break it down for them, to show them, to let them hear it again. That's why I invited them all here. And
oh, you did?
yeah, I said, I in my description says, question
Oh,
for
I didn't even
Tiger.
look.
How do you feel about Ernie Shell? How do you feel after Ernie Shell admits to manipulation? And then I put in maybe I didn't. I think I did it on my post, my community post. Let me look. I said it somewhere. All Tigers welcome on panel for respectful discussion.
Oh,
That
okay.
was it. And then I went over to his chat and I told them they were all welcome too. If they wanted to come over and listen.
That's a lot, I know that's like part of the whole thing. Like I've been talking about, like, you can't be seen at Constant Sue's. It might be some of that too.
Right. The strong ones, if you really are strong in your your stance on Ernie, and you're, how you feel, you could come over. They'll come over and talk and debate me.
Well, you
It'll be
got your
the
favorite
insecure
feisty
ones.
fan. She came in and said
Yeah,
hello in her own way.
Maggie can come on panel and debate me. Somebody could come and I forgot who it was that said I was manipulated by Ernie, and I'm being trolled by Ernie. He's not trolling me at all. If he's doing this all as a troll, then he can't say we're harassing him. If it's all his big idea of fun and games and, just to get one over on somebody, then he can't say we're harassing him and get a restraining order against us. You can't have it both ways. You can't troll us and then say we're harassing you. Thank you, Fitzcrank.
Oh, thanks, Fizz. You made one of those?
Yes, because I thought
I didn't know you had one yet.
I thought you were right. How do what if somebody doesn't want to be their name on there, and Buy Me Coffee's the only one that I know of that doesn't show your personal information.
Yeah, the reason I like to put up that one is once I learned that, I'm like, oh, once I joined it, I realized that people that want to use a debit card or something, or they don't want, it's literally anonymous. So it's a good way for people,
Because if you Cash App or
shit private.
Yeah,
Cash App is private as long as you edit it. I've tried to teach people how to do that. If anyone ever has a question and want to see me like a message or something, I'll show you how to make your Cash App private. You could make it the same as your screen name. You just have to go in and edit it 2 times a certain way. You could do it on your phone too. So make sure your regular name's not in it. PayPal, that shows your name no matter what. So I don't recommend it.
Yeah. And Locksmith, Tina lost about $1,500. That was just on the bail. And no, he never paid her back.
1,800, I believe.
Yeah, 1,800, and the subs paid the rest, and they never got their money back either. Yeah, it was Maggie's comment. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 1,800. That's what I thought.
I tried to jump Charlie too. Okay.
And I'm learning from him as I'm learning from you, Ernie. And I like doing that. And I told you months ago that I'm willing to learn anything that I can learn and get more experience from.
Well,
I want
see
to
what
learn.
I'll do.
Look, Charlie, I'm learning from you. Like that what you just told me there is something that I've never done and never thought of. And that is a fantastic practice for mindfulness. And there's a part over here.
That's
it's training your mind to be stronger.
To be present. It's you're present in that moment, so you don't have to
writing exercises.
And for me personally, that's something that I could do that. Like I'm thinking to myself, you're saying that, I'm like, that's something I could do and I could enjoy that. And that
you're gonna see him on a park bench. You're gonna see him on a park bench somewhere with a fucking notebook writing shit down as everybody walks by. Well, look at this. This guy here decided to do.
People are called cops up.
With all those readings and with all those write downs, you can actually write a book from that. If I'm not mistaken, I know.
Yeah, you could easily use AI and finish the rest of it for you.
It's actually funny. You said, I was thinking before AI, that was kind of like, if that would be a good way, writers probably started books like that. They'd probably go to the park and do something like that, and then go home and read it and create characters out of that. Now they could just use AI, but
yeah.
Well, I just want you to know, Homelander, out of 4 years of doing this, you're probably the only one to ever figure out my technique and what I use. And nobody's ever got.
You're muted if you're talking.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Did you hear that, Tigers? His technique about what he uses, not what he used to use, not what he used to do, what he uses. He uses currently.
Got it. Nobody's ever understood it because I do use the BBD, the bigger, better deal. I give them what they think they want.
Right.
Oh.
Now let's break that down. The BBD. He's playing off of the acronym.
Wait a minute. Did you just say BBD?
BBD.
You know what that stands for, right?
Right, and that's what he's hoping people will say. What?
Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to put something in chat with it. I'm like, consonants.
So what he says is the bigger, better deal. So he thinks he's clever. like when they go, "Oh, ha, we thought you was gonna say big black,"
Yeah.
and haha, you're so funny, Ernie. No, you're not funny, Ernie. That's what maybe the first
I still
500
laugh
times
at
you
things
said
that
it.
are funny because I get immature like that sometimes. But just in the moment, I do.
I get it.
Mama T, do you like my new picture? I'm wearing my romper. We twinsies.
But what's he say? How does he say it exactly?
Figure out my technique and what I use, and nobody's ever got it. Nobody's ever understood it because I do use the BBD, the bigger, better deal. I give them what they think they want.
He gives them what they think they want. So he gives
So
his
Ernie gives you
tigers,
the BBD, folks. Bye,
yeah,
Starry
what
Night.
they think they want. The
Oh, that's
tigers want
right.
somewhere to belong. The tigers want to save children. The tigers want to feel like a community. The tigers
Tiger
want to feel
BBD.
family. Yes. So he's giving tigers, not us. He's not giving us the BBD.
Fox.
He's giving his tigers the BBD. What they think that they want. That's what he does by saying we're tigers, making you all a group. That's what he does by saying you each got a job, and put it in your name, and gives you a status symbol to where you feel like you belong.
Status.
Most of these people feel like they probably haven't belonged, or they're lonely. So
Fox.
BBD is going to them. What did Flossie say?
No, Fox.
Fox. Oh, what did Fox say? You missed it. I miss it when I go over to Ernie's side. And somebody said earlier, the Venom, Homelander used to go by Venom. Yeah, Ernie has called him Venom. So, I don't know. I don't remember him as Venom, but it's probably a lot, Super Soldier. Ernie has said an outrageous number, like 90,000, but I think he was bragging. The BBD. Yeah, the bigger, better. How does Bird say?
Be careful. Well, someone just sent me a little gemstone one, so it's technically a LS. Is that a LSD? Little Stone D. Yeah, I have a LSD.
Michelle
I'm like,
said,
what do I do with
Ernie
this? Do I
Homelander.
wire wrap it? Do I bezel it? Do I drill it? What do you do with this? It's about 1.25 inches long. It's supposed to be like a little joke, but
Fizz, you can make anything funny, so.
Oh my gosh, it could go along with the Barbie. It's like when someone ever makes the action figure, I got the real stone. You know what I'm saying? We'll
You're
save
gonna get
that
the
for
BBD
later. We'll save it for
from
later.
because you're unique and you're crafty. See, you know your self-worth. You can make a little BBD for
I
the
could make it
action
into a
figure.
work of art.
An accessory sold separately.
Right. Sold separately.
Okay.
Don't remember Holly Dolly.
I don't know if they're. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember.
I think you're thinking of Venomous. There was somebody
Snake.
named something Venomous. Was that what it was? Snake? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
That's got a lot to do within it. Now, here lately, I have slipped. I've been slipping. And the thing about it is, what I don't do no more
Mr. Nobody.
is I don't.
The Love Ghost says over here in Ernie's chat, Homelander could be the next cult leader. Yeah, he probably could. He probably could. But why can't you have a good cult instead of a bad cult? Why are cults always weird and bad? Why don't they have a cult for spreading the sunshine? And well, I guess they did the Harry Christmas.
You could be any kind of cult you want to be. It's 20.
Right. So why be a weirdo cult?
Building an
I don't
RC
use
truck.
the
All right.
control perception because I used to use that a lot. And people don't know what that is. But
thank you, the cat lady.
Go ahead.
Cat lady, hello.
It's useful. Let me say it's
Too much.
it works is what I'm trying to say. It's useful. I'm not saying it's good because I don't believe it is, but it's useful and it does give results.
See, Homelander's telling right there. It's not good because he doesn't believe it is, but it's useful and it gets results for bad people. If you're using it for bad, that's what it does get results. But who's he using it on? Not his haters.
That's it. Venomous silverback. That's the one you're thinking of, I think, Collie Dolly.
Oh yeah, I said snake.
I knew
Yeah.
it was something
Then
like
let's
that.
go with that.
Something with an S.
But tigers, you got to remember, all this manipulation and all this using, he's not using on us. He's not over here in our chats manipulating us because we call him on his bullshit. He's using it on you. Ask yourself, why does he have to use it on you? Why can't he just be a normal person? Why that's so hard? Because he knows he can't. He has to be manipulative to be something. That's the only way he's going to get that air quote power. And the
No, he doesn't
power
have
that
to be. He doesn't have
Right,
to
you
be,
don't
but
have
he
to
might
be.
might think he has to be. Maybe.
Right. And the power that he thinks he has is only on the website. It doesn't transfer to his real life. It doesn't transfer to Harlan County power. It doesn't transfer to points in heaven. It doesn't transfer to the guy on the street that sees Ernie. Nobody gives a rat shit out of YouTube of the air quote power that he thinks he has.
Yes, but Constance, some people believe you could be anything you want on YouTube. This is a virtual life. You see what I'm saying? Where
You
on the real
can.
life, you can't create always everything so easily. You know what I mean?
You can, but then don't be a crybaby when people call you out for being a scammer.
Oh, I'm just
You
saying
can do
why. Where
Yeah.
I'm answering the why element. Why somebody would do that per se.
You
You know?
have the freedom to say anything you want, but not the freedom from not from the consequences of what you
Mhm.
say. And then if you're holding yourself out to that, saying you're rescuing children, saying you're doing all this, then it's just going to be normal human behavior for people to say, hey, wait a minute. An
You
educated
could
mind would go, hey, wait a
you
minute.
could end up with a constant sue in your chat.
Right. And we're not trolling him. We're not harassing him. We are reacting to what he says. Everybody says, well, he's doing good. Why don't he stop? No, he's not doing good. That's why we're not stopping. He just got a veteran's discount for a bed. He just said his discount, that pisses people off. And we have every right to be pissed off. If something pisses me off, I have the right to say something about it. You can't go pissing people off and then say, oh, don't say nothing. I'll cry. You're harassing me. I'm going to tell the policeman you're harassing me. No. The minute that any investigator sees the side of any of us people that he says he's put in jail, it's going to be a moot point. He's going to say, hey, you give what you get. If you don't want the harassment, don't go on there and say you're going to kill someone's prized possession horse. Don't go on there and say you're a veteran. Don't go on there and say you're rescuing kids. That would probably be a start. Those things are going to piss people off. And you can't be mad when it does piss people off.
And you
it's not
also
like
have to identify. You have to identify what equals harassment versus somebody doing commentary, because that's what's all over YouTube. There's tons of channels that just do commentary. So when you're on the platform, you're open for commentary. So you have to define that and assess and see which, not every.
Plus, you're a public figure.
Public figure.
You're a public figure. Donald Trump gets talked shit on because and he knows he's going to get talked shit on because he's a public figure. That's why
both
it's
candidates
harder to
always do. Yep.
When you're a public figure rather than just a private citizen. If you're out here, saying insensitive things, then you're probably going to get shit. So yeah, come on with this. Come on with it. Come on with this lawsuit.
Come on with it.
I want to be a legal eagle like.
I have not heard Mama T say that a good old "come on with it" in a long time. That was a Mama T original, right? Was it not? Come on with it. I just remembered.
Get on the panel. Come on.
Yep.
Don't sing it. Bring. I forgot the rest of it. Yeah, she had a good line of them, but
don't talk about it. Be about it.
Right. That was it.
In interrogations, FBI use it all the time. The Department of Homeland, government agencies use this same technique all the time. And here's the thing: you have to understand, every person is wired to a certain way. So people believe what they see. Now think about this, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna give you something. I want you all to think about it. You have to understand that people believe what they see and feel. more than what they're told. You do understand that, right? You can be told something, but if it's not told in a way of you being active listeners, now that's a big deal.
Okay, now he's getting ready to tell you how
Hmm.
what you see is what you're told. And if you're told from the point of an active listener, he means all those things he said he did for mind control. If he comes at you with the voice, the suggestion, then you're going to be more to believe it. Track marks on Katie's arms
That is
is a
what I
good
wanted to
example.
bring up. I'm glad you got to it. The power of suggestion,
Right.
which is
And he
what
does that with
means.
slow talking, coming down to your level, relating with you. All those things that he just said he did, those mind tactics, that's how he does it. And you believe him, whether it's true or not. Like when he says that, what else was he saying? I won't repeat it, but the shit he said about Peachy and Ghost Kids, all of that was
I
not
didn't
true.
hear that.
No, and it's too gross to repeat.
I don't think I want to
It's too
hear it.
gross. Yeah, because Brett was on panel too, if you can imagine. They were both
I don't want to hear stuff like
disgusting.
that.
And they were laughing about it. Evil, laughing about it. It was disgusting. But if he comes at you with the tone of voice, with relating to you, a calmness, then you're going to believe him without any questions. But that doesn't work on us over here. That only works on you people over there. So the manipulation, it's not hurting us at all. It's only hurting you. Mr. Kitty says, what about his $3 breakfast spill he just performed a couple days ago? If that wasn't a slap in the face to everyone who has ever really served in the military, been in law enforcement, or a first responder. Ooh, I missed that one, but I'm guessing he got a military discount. Sally said it was so gross and uncalled for. Yes, it was. Yeah, I seen that article about Christine. Yeah, it shows how disgusting they are, not us. Right. None of us are talking like that over there. And Starry Nights, who knows for certain, he'll pretend he's a friend, but he never is. No, he uses you. He uses you. And the best proof of that, look how he treated Lori, Mama T, and all of his tigers when he was done with them. Called them bitches, called them everything but their name. And now, look how he treated Lisa when he found out she didn't turn on him, but was tired of his shit. Look how he treated all them people. But now he wants him back. He's all, Lori, I missed you. Talking nice to Lori in that slow tone. Everyone's disposable. Exactly, MacB. Even beloved Ghost. And he proved that true.
Active listening. You have to understand what active listening even is. See, we automatically do it, but some of us don't even know what it is. And
Well,
what
That's
happens
true.
is you pick up on
That's the
certain
truth.
things than others, correct?
Yeah, well, no, even just when you say active listening, it just, this was just a brother at church who I have a bad habit, I guess, ADD, ADHD. I have a bad habit of thinking of what I'm going to say next when somebody else is talking. And he told me I need to stop and listen and stop thinking about what I'm going to say next. And I don't know if that's what you're talking about when you're talking about active listening, but I just think that we all need to stop thinking sometimes about what we're going to say next and just listen to what our partner or our friend is saying.
Okay, I got what you're saying. Okay, so
But you're also right about that, like,
That's common sense. And like Homelander says, we all need to do that because a lot of us, I know sometimes I do that, and we need to be a better person by just active listening. Ernie's not saying do active listening to be a better person. Ernie's saying be an active listener to manipulate. The difference between Homelander's comment and Ernie's comment. Homelander said to do it to be a better person. Ernie's doing it to get something out of it. Not that he really gives two shits about what you got to say, but he's going to be an active listener because everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants to feel like someone's listening to them. And if you feel like someone's listening to you, then you're more inclined to think that he's a good guy, and yeah, this is the guy I want to follow, and be blinded by all his bullshit.
Is that Edith or Chiquita?
That was Edith.
I thought
She's a
so.
big boy.
That Edith.
Edith. She's looking
Edith.
all around. She don't understand. Her little ears are perked.
Edith.
Weirdo. Okay,
Edith, be a
back to
good
this.
girl. Just had to do the dog voice.
You made a really good point. Just to get back on track, people will deny what they see and what they
Right.
hear.
Amen.
Amen is right.
Right.
That's some
And
truth.
what's Ernie's phrase? People, your eyes and your ears will deceive you, but your God-given heart will lead you. That means your eyes and your ears are wrong.
See, Homelander's speaking
listen.
facts.
Yeah, and he is. I was like, giving him so much props for this. And Ernie's going to admit it here in just 1 second.
For what they feel.
Exactly. Yeah, I got what you're saying. Okay, so
But you're also right about that. Like, you made a really good point. Just to get back on track, people will deny what they see and what they hear for what they feel.
That's
exactly.
some truth right there.
Okay, so whenever you're doing a PowerPoint presentation or anything like that, when you have to capture the audience, let's just say you have to capture the audience. Should I even talk about this, or should I just wait?
Let me see.
This is a good one right here. Because the thing about it is, what they call it is owning the room or owning the audience. You've heard that before, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
What?
this is the key word here. When you own the key words, sorry about that. When you own the audience or own the room, I go a little bit I do a little bit differently. So here's the secret. Here's the secret. What I do, and here's why everybody streams me, is
Before your
because
secret,
I own
can
the
I pause
room.
that? Or before his
Uh-huh.
secret? Well, it's not exactly the reason why we're streaming you first off, but that's not why I asked you to stop it. Sally just said something that caught my attention, so I scrolled up to JW's comment? I can't, or Locksmith JW. Okay, I can't verify because I haven't been around. He says he's not using Dog the Bounty Hunter as a reference anymore. He's using his ex-wife Elizabeth Chapman for credentials. Now, again, I haven't been around. I can't say if that's true. I'm just reading it to ask. Is that true?
He has been. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, okay.
And she's dead, so she can't verify, right? Yeah, that's what the upset is. Yeah.
No, but the husband can.
Right.
I don't think you want that smoke. He's got money.
Did you see the dog saying he didn't know Ernie?
I saw that. I've seen the cameo. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I would just be
Yep.
careful with that one because just this. Hey,
Right.
just
They got lawyers. They're not.
I'm just saying what I would
logos.
suggest. You can obviously do what you want, but I wouldn't go there. Not that that means anything what I say, but I'm just saying.
It's
Just a
tip.
recommendation, a friendly recommendation.
Yeah. Now
I
he's
love
going to
that
say,
show.
why he's streaming
I
him.
love that lady.
I want him to know right now, and I want his Tigers to know why he's streaming. Because he's a train wreck. He's a lol cow. He's what they call a horror cow. We're waiting for him to do the next stupid thing. And Homelander is getting ready to tell him that. We're not doing it
Really?
because we're jealous. Yeah. Yeah. Homelander was on point this night. He really was.
Well, he just was what I heard. I gotta say.
Yeah.
I call it like
Maybe
I
I
see
should
it.
shut up and let it. I'll let Homelander say it before I say it so I don't get it wrong.
Okay.
A little bit differently. So here's the secret. Here's the secret. What I do, and here's why everybody streams me, is because I own the room or the screen, whichever way you want to say it, before anyone even speaks, because I know.
Because we know you're going to do some bozo shit that we can laugh at.
There's
True,
I don't
Ernie,
think
you're
it's
right.
Yeah, and everybody's doing it for different reasons. Some, like you said, for the train wreck. Some are simply doing it to document due to all the different stories. There's many reasons, and not everybody's reason
Right.
for recording is the same as the next. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
And it's sure the hell not, we're not restreaming him because we're jealous of him or we value him. Edith, go potty.
Hell, I haven't been around. I don't know what's been going on. I haven't even been here into this Ernie side since I didn't even see when Logan like bumped his head. Like I didn't even see any of that or before it, the day before, I don't think. So from then on, I haven't seen anything.
I quit watching that stream because it was just too cringe. It was just.
I'm glad I didn't see it because I think I would be very bothered if I saw it, because I always have a weakness
was.
for people that are older anyway. And if I saw that, I would be upset. I think it would upset me. So I'm glad I didn't see it.
It upset me, so it would definitely upset you. It was
I'm glad
cringe.
once again that I didn't see it.
And it went on a long time. It went on.
Okay.
Ernie could have cut it.
Has anyone heard from him?
Ernie says he's heard from him, but I don't know. That's
Anyone
only
in
from
here
Ernie.
know? Well,
maybe it's when chat knows.
Well, yeah, I guess if
Mr.
you
Beverly
know in
says,
chat.
Not our fault. The clown puts on a daily show. Exactly. Exactly. If he would quit doing stupid shit, we'd quit reacting to stupid shit. And they say, "Oh no, that's Connie. He was in jail, and you still reacted to him because there was so much shit to react to that we didn't want you to forget when he came back."
He's in his 50s. Logan? Gandalf? Well, okay, I misjudged that, but I mean that happens sometimes.
Well, he looks older than that. But,
Yeah,
okay,
I guess I did assume that.
What presence is.
That's
I understand that people, they follow certainty, okay?
We don't follow certainty. We're certain that you're going to be an ass, yes, we follow.
People will always follow certainty.
Yep, you're right, Ernie. I'll agree with that. We're certain that you're going to do something cringe so we can react to it. You're right there.
Well,
If
Constance
your
is
body
agreeing with
language,
something he said.
Right.
Your tone, your energy say, I know what I'm doing, people will naturally follow.
No, you're wrong. You're so wrong. We don't follow you. That's going to make me giggle. We don't follow you because we know what you're doing. We follow you, like you said, because you're certain that you're going to do something LOL Cal worthy. You're going to do something that needs to be archived. You're going to do something that needs to be reacted to, debunked. That's why we follow you, bozo.
Record keeping, but also it's a good thing I can see why you would say that though to your own audience. If you had your own audience and you have all this going around with all the people, why not capitalize on it and say that to your audience if you're already doing other things? Because then they'll believe it, right? Some of them.
Right. Why not do something good?
So why not say that's why they're doing it? Because they're going to say, go with it, right? Some of them.
Right. And why not do something good? Like we said, you're not manipulating us. So if you're manipulating your audience, why not manipulate them into something productive, something good? Not buying you biscuits and gravy, not feeling sorry for you, not buying you tactical gear. That's what you're doing.
I haven't made that in a while. Maybe I'll make that. Maybe I'm going to make biscuits and gravy. It's a good day for that. It's all rainy and cold.
He's not satisfied with biscuits and gravy. He wants biscuits and gravy, hash browns, bacon, ham, eggs. What else did he say? Sausage and chicken. He was bragging about today. He goes,
well,
when
you
I
need a sausage to make the gravy.
Yeah, he said, I got all these plates around me, and people are like, what? I'm like, that you didn't pay for? Not one thing did you pay for. But he's manipulated his audience into thinking that, it's not going to hurt anything to buy Ernie biscuits and gravy. So what? I bought Ernie biscuits and gravy. I do what I want to with my money. And you do. Give him all your money.
Right. I mean, he's getting himself a meal out of it, and it's a laugh on for him, right?
But it's due to manipulation.
And a full belly.
It's manipulation.
Right.
And that's what Homelander said. Wouldn't you want to be a guy that's a good guy that people buy because you're a good guy, not because you manipulated them? It's just an evil thing.
Without question, correct?
If there is a man who stands tall and confident and says,
will naturally follow without question, correct?
If there is a man who stands tall and confident and says, I know safety is that way, and there's another man who says, I think safety is that way. And the guy who thinks safety is that way looked at a map and he read the map and he's right. He knows that's the way to safety, but he's not 100% sure. So he's honest and he says, I think. And the man who says, I know this is the way to safety, and he leads everybody off that cliff, he's going to have more followers because of his confidence and his air and his, yes, absolutely.
True.
So yeah, that's
There you
true.
go.
And that's what Ernie does.
That's one of the
I
points.
am going to win governor. I am going to get Angelo put in jail. I am that man. I am not stolen valor. That's what Ernie does. And people believe him because he's not, well, I might be stolen valor. Well, I might be able to, no, Ernie stands up. He's read the book.
Well, Homelander is
And
correct
so-
again.
Right. And so all these people are going to fall in right off the cliff.
Homelander's correct
Because-
again, but also it might not be so deep. Some of the audience might not be thinking about it the way we are thinking about it. You have
No,
to think
you're
that
right.
too.
Not all the audience. There's a
They're
good
not seeing
portion of
what
the
we're
audience.
seeing from that conversation.
There's a few diehards and a few that have went back that I think do this, but there's some in the audience that are just there to troll him and just there
Oh,
for
there's
the
some that know.
show. Yeah, like Sweet Katie, she's not there because she likes Ernie. She's there for the drama, and the love to be super manipulated, So that's why she's there. Raylan's the same way. Queen Ashley has me puzzled. Queen Ashley, I mean,
Some of them have been nice, not been nice to me, so I ain't got a problem with, what I mean,
Yeah.
personally, but I know we both have different people, I just want to make that clear because I don't have a problem
Right.
with some of them.
Queen Ashley doesn't seem to me like type that would just, feed on the drama like most of the mean girls. But for some reason, she's kissing Ernie's ass, after all these 4 years of all the shit Ernie's done sitting in Jimbo's chat. Maybe she just discredited it all because Jimbo's a liar. I don't know.
I haven't seen any of it, so I couldn't say, but I'm willing to bet that some people are there for the
Yes,
ride.
sorry.
Just for the ride.
Right. And the trolls, there's the
Right.
trolls.
Well, that's kind of what I meant by it.
And then there's the ones in there that are, trying to show people a different way, without being rude and getting kicked out, which I couldn't do. I'm always timed out.
Yeah.
And you say you don't read books. You liar.
Well, this is just, and this is a problem. This is a big problem.
And then the Homelander says it's a problem. It's not funny, Ernie. It's not a good thing. It's a problem.
This is, we
So here's the thing. Here's the thing too.
Here's the thing.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Say we start with silly. I'm not going to give all this away because I'm losing everything.
He is losing everything. If people are paying attention, he's absolutely losing everything. They just aren't paying attention or won't acknowledge it.
So say we start with
But if you don't acknowledge it, who's that hurting? You're not hurting us over here on this side. The only person you're hurting is you.
stillness. Okay, we're going to start with stillness, not nervous energy. Okay, so we all give out energy of some sort. Now, say we give off nervous energy. So what we can do is we can do silence, because silence, we all know silence can command more attention than shouting.
Oh,
When
hey,
I'm
Redheaded
quiet,
Storm.
I'm drawing in. I always told AB, I know
When he's quiet, he's drawing in. That's out of the book. When he goes on his lives and he lets you sit there for, I don't know, 15 minutes or so with nothing,
Sometimes.
he's drawing
Yeah.
people in. When he goes on his lives and he has to go, wait a minute, take a call, he's drawing people in. But who's he drawing in?
Actually, I think in the beginning, a lot of the lives when there's a long pause like that in the beginning, it's to get the numbers up, give people time to get in and get those numbers up, and to see who's going to stream. So I think it's a double thing.
Yeah. But who's he drawing in? He's not drawing any of us in. We're all over here going, you bozo, why do you got to go there?
Everyone that's streaming are there, I guess.
Yeah. We're already there and we're not going, oh,
It's just all
Ernie,
for different. It's just all for
please
different
tell us
reasons.
more. Yeah, we're
Draw
not
them
saying
in to
please
flush them out.
Right, exactly.
I just wanted to say that
Ernie's
old
not so
phrase.
much of that, but yeah. Pride Kill says over here in Ernie's chat, when we learn and grow, we will outgrow people. So either we'll have to accept them where they are, all parties will go separate ways. What she's saying is,
Know what your
she knows
secret
Ernie's
is.
full of shit. She knows Ernie's a liar, and she accepts him where he is. Like Sarah said, that's another aspect of people that Ernie's chat. She knows he's a liar, and she don't care. Renee Marie knows he's a liar, don't care. You know, Beloved Ghost, I'm sure, knows he's a liar and don't care. Maggie Mags doesn't believe he's a liar yet. Tiger Mama doesn't believe he's a liar yet. Charlie doesn't believe he's a liar yet. You know, they're all different levels of why they're there.
Individual.
Yeah, that Arctic Tiger or Arctic whatever Tiger Girl, I don't know for sure why she's there. I think she still believes Ernie is going to save children and find someone.
Mm-hmm.
AB had a secret that he was doing, and he didn't even know what the hell it was, and I caught on to it.
Because AB's genuine, and when he made a pause, it was a genuine pause. He wasn't doing it to manipulate the audience.
Because AB used to have a huge following. Now it's nothing because of what he turned his channel to. But, you know, he would pause. When you pause for those brief moments, people come closer. They want to hear more. Correct?
Oh, I'll give you one of my tells. Like, silence is very uncomfortable for me. And I think that I could, of course, I think that I could outsmart any detective or any, you know, I can get away with all the, you know, there's no way I would get, you know, caught by a detective asking me questions or something. All you got to do is be quiet and I'll tell you everything if you're quiet long enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, exactly. That's what I did with the Secret Service. I wasn't giving them shit. So they looked at me and they had these papers.
Okay.
They're like, well, we're going to write what
I do believe that's bullshit.
Okay.
I think Ernie got on there and screamed like a little girl.
That's interesting about the Secret Service.
Yeah, he wants to say he didn't tell them shit.
Which time? Now, is it true? Was there some discussion recently about TBI or the summer stuff? Is that like all? Is that actually real? Or
I don't know. Something about somebody said that he was being investigated for 3 missing children on the East Coast and had to give his DNA. Now, whether that's true or all bullshit, I don't know.
Well, the only reason I asked is I went into my Tiger archives and I found like at least 4 old lives that are, you know, tucked away where there was some talk about it was all summer stuff, you know. So I'm like, do put this on to make for transparency and just leave it as is and let people check what it is. Like I don't know if I want to put it out or not, like even bother, but I also don't like having it private where that channel's now gone. I don't know what I just let me know your thoughts on that. If I release it, leave it alone, do what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm just kind of up in the air.
That's something that she'll have to do with you because I'm the same way. I want to cover his Summer Wells live soap, you know, Ernie
deal with it.
Wells, but it pisses me off so bad, and I think that there's been, you know, but it needs to be covered.
It's not my yeah. I'm kind of torn on it because it's like, do I put it out there and let other people listen to it? Like I don't know.
Maybe you could get with Lisa Kay and see what she says. Because she would know if it's, you know, needs to be, if it's, because there are lives out there that need to be exposed that are worthy. They might have one little gem, one little Easter egg, one little comment that, you know, so it's hard. I understand.
Well, I felt like if some people are looking for certain things, do I put it out and be transparent about it? Because why am I, on another hand, I feel like if I leave it locked, I'm keeping something. That's not my decision to make. Or am I just causing issues? I want to cause issues either. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm kind of struggling with that. If anyone wants to give me any recommendations, what they would do, maybe you can tell me after this.
I would vote with, because what if it's not your information to keep? What if you need to put it out?
That's kind of how I feel. That's the thing keeping me from not doing it. If that makes sense.
I'm screwed, but anybody that says different, because they're not the ones that has to deal with the what if you don't put it out there. Your mind's like, what if I didn't put it out? Yeah,
exactly. That's kind of where I'm at.
And there's a lot of those old Summer Wells Ernie bullshit that does need to go over just for his scamming, if nothing else.
And it's not that I'm saying I think something, or that I'm saying that it's not that I'm flat out saying I think you did it. It's not. I'm not one of those hardcore people. It's just I feel like it's not my decision to make. You know, that's where I'm at.
Let people make up their own mind. Here it is. Make up your own mind.
Right.
That's the way I would handle it, I think.
I've heard people flat out accuse him of it. I'm not one of those people. I'm just,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he's saying that's why he's saying bad shit about other people, is because people are calling him a killer. And people, I've never called him a killer.
No, I
I've
don't.
never called him a killer. I've said where I can understand why people come to the conclusion that he may have been involved, because he's the one that put himself right there in the middle of it. He's the one that said he was gone that morning. He's the one that said he knew Don Wells.
Right.
So if you don't want people accusing you of this shit, maybe shut up.
And words matter. It's different between if
Right.
you flat out tell it's how you word things. If you flat out say you can't, cade somebody or whatever, other than I think this man's capable, not just him, any man, or if you said it's how you word it, I think this man may be capable of doing something like that. That's a whole nother meaning to it than just flat out saying something like you are a flat out murderer or something. You know what I'm saying? It's all in how you
Right.
word things.
Hey, Puck Elf. Also, Ernie's the one that said he's a killer. He said he had 19 confirmed kills. When somebody said, "But you don't mean in the military, do you?" He said,
That's true
"Let's
too.
change topic." He made the illusion that he was a killer. He named himself the killer inside. So when people go around calling him a killer, what do you expect? He can't sue for slander and harassment when he's the one calling himself a killer. We've just investigated. Oh, you're a killer? Let me investigate that. Oh, you're a killer? Let me talk about that. Let's discuss this, because Ernie says he's a killer. Ernie said he has 19 confirmed kills. He was pretty convincing to me on the phone that he was telling Renee Marie the truth. I don't believe that he was telling the true story, but he didn't know he was being recorded. He didn't do that just to rile people up. And if he did, again, yeah, you can't sue us for harassment if you did it just to rile us all up. You got to think it through, Ernie.
Which goes back to, why do people record you? Because
had we not, and you take us to court, well, we would look like the bad guy. But we have so much that says no. From day one, are you
some people have spreadsheets and it's proven invaluable at sometimes.
Are you that predator hunter guy? From day one, you came on lying and dishonest. And from day one, people called you on it, and it's went from there, back and forth, from day one. You will not win for harassment or slander or libel or none of that, because you're the one that always has to put yourself back in it. And thank God we have archive channels. And YouTube really needs to make YouTube needs to make a special place for them to where they can archive stuff without getting struck, without having comment, without changing it. Because if you go to court, I do believe, and I think it's up to the court, but I think more courts are going to this. If you have just a clip of something, you might get a court to side with you. But a court is going to side with you when they can see the whole video, so they know that you didn't take it out of context. True. And if the person deletes the whole video, you're screwed. An archive channel records it without any commentary, without any breaks, without any splits, without any commentary, just recording what you put out there. And I think there's a place in law and YouTube for that.
There's a place in YouTube for just flat out doing that kind of thing, and then commentary. And even if multiple people do it, because everybody has their own take on it. And sometimes people like to listen to different people's take on it. That's smarter to do that, I think.
20 more people. If 20 more people want to start covering Ernie, I'd watch all of them.
Because it's good and it helps you reflect and think from another perspective, which is actually smart.
I wouldn't say, oh my God, we've gone over this. Oh my God, we've gone over this a million times. It opens
your mind up, and instead of just flat out making decisions based on your own opinion, you got to weigh everything. I think it helps you.
The trial, I've never watched the trial all the way through because the sound quality just gets on my last nerve. The people coughing gets on my last nerve. And it being out of sync and out of order so much sometimes gets on my last nerve. So I can watch bits and pieces of it, but I have yet to sit through that trial, top to bottom, front to back, because I just can't stand the when they play Shelby's calls in jail. That it's so irritating that they couldn't have a better quality. How could you rule on any of that? You can't make shit out of what he was saying anyway.
Yeah. Things have come a long way though since.
They have, like Wade Wilson's calls, clear as can be.
Yeah, technology's improved a lot over the last few years even.
And Ernie over there saying that you cannot FOIA jail calls. wants to go for you some jail calls because he wants to get Lisa Kay in a gotcha moment. He's hoping to hear Lisa Kay say, "Oh, Shelby, I love you. Shelby, you're the man of my dreams."
is that a new thing?
That's why he wants to get it. Yeah, he's hoping he
Are
gets that.
are
Okay,
people doing
Shelby,
that?
I'll go tell everybody. Huh?
Are people on trying to do that now, or they're working on it?
Ernie said he's going to get the calls because he says once he gets the calls, you'll see the whole clear picture of how Shelby wants Ernie to be put out as a bad person and how Lisa's lying and how Lisa's in love with, well, he hasn't said this, but he swears up and down that Lisa's in love with Shelby. And I know that's what he wants to get a gotcha moment of Lisa saying, "Oh, Shelby, I love you so much." And like Lisa says, he's not going to get what he wants because that didn't help him. Lisa is not a jailhouse girlfriend. Lisa is just somebody that's into true crime and wanted Shelby's side of the story. She's not there to fall in love with him, to say he's not guilty, to get him out of prison, to have him move in her house. She's not doing any of that. And like Lisa says, you're going to hear about Ernie's past crimes and scams. And that'll be another thing. If they play all the calls, will Ernie play all the calls or just the one that benefit him? So somebody, now that we've all brought it up, should probably FOIA all the damn calls so we know the whole thing.
Well, if people are talking about that and they do put them out, I mean, people are going to want to listen to that just like the other ones.
Right.
I mean, I probably would just because I'd want to hear his take on if they're really going to, but that also might be something he might not want to. If his brother's talking about things that he did or whatever, he might find that more damaging to put out. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Ernie's not going to get what he's wishing for. He's hoping that he has a Columbo gotcha moment on Lisa. And Lisa would know. Lisa's the one that's, doing the talking with Shelby. She said, yeah, it's going to come out Ernie's bullshit more than her bullshit. So, but he's hoping for that because he got, his ass burned in jailhouse calls. He's hoping to burn somebody's ass with jailhouse calls. And the FOIA from 303's trial. Why the hell spend the money on FOIA on 303's trial? 303's already said everything, admitted everything, told everything, played everything. But go ahead and spend your money, Ernie. I mean, he's looking for that gotcha moment, and there won't be a gotcha moment. Mr. Kitty, I think it was a Massengill girl that somebody accused him of it. I don't know if the law did or not, but I think Chat did. Then get up here, Edith. Come on. Come on. Oh, when she wants on my lap.
The Kayla one?
Yeah. When she wants on my lap, it's like she has to ask to get on my lap instead of just jumping up here. Get up here, you goofball. Okay, let's play this. I think I'm going to play maybe another 30 minutes, and then if it's not over, I'll do it in a part 2. So I have time to welcome the Tigers if they want to come.
That might be a good idea.
So he wrote my name out and everything. So he wasn't giving me nothing. He'd already showed his hand though. He'd already brought these files in and they was closed up. They always wait to that at the end to say, well, you did this, you did that. Bam, bam, bam. You said this when that was not true. Bam, bam, bam. Got you here, got you here. I had said nothing. So all these questions that he had asked me, I said nothing. And then I was like, man, what is this even about? So what I use is the who, what, when, where, how. The open-ended questions. Mm-hmm. There's 5 ways.
He was outsmarting the Secret Services. Right.
Oh, okay.
To do that. Who, what, when, where, how. I said, but I put it in there slang, like as a grab a hold of attention to say, hey, buddy, what the fuck? Like, hey, buddy, what? Then I hit what. I said, what is this even about?
Oh, Ernie, you're not so much for Columbo. Anybody sitting in an interrogation from the Secret Service would say, what is this about? They would also say, what is this about? You're no genius. That's common sense. You say, what is this about? But he got the Secret Service.
Come on, man. Looks like I was stupid, playing off you stupid. He's like, well, boom. And he started talking.
Well, of course.
So what I did is, instead of him using what's called, I'm going to get in so much.
He got the Secret Service to tell him why they were there. Oh, you're good, Ernie. You're so good. The Secret Service started talking when I asked why was I there.
You probably trained them.
You probably did. And his little Tiggers over there going, oh, Ernie, you that was a gotcha moment for sure. You sure got him.
I mean, hello, Constance, the U.S. Marshal training. Don't forget.
Right. I forgot all about that.
Yes.
Trouble for this shit. Instead we're using the Dotson effect. What it's called is the Dotson effect. I reversed that psychology that he was using on me back to him.
What a bunch of horse shit. It's if you're called in by the Secret Service, you're going to say, "What am I in for?" And they're going to reply with what you're in for. That's no
What did
Columbo
he call
moment.
it? What was the effect he
The
said?
Dotson. I think he said the
Doxing?
Dotson effect. Dotson, maybe.
Okay, because I'm
Dotson.
like, all right. I was thinking of a different one. I thought he said the wrong word.
Maybe you should Google that to see our new vocabulary word.
Well, because I thought at first he meant the Dozier.
Oh, I think he said that before someplace though.
Yeah, I didn't know if he said the wrong
And
word.
then I slowed back with my silence, which and further what it did is it drawed the agent closer, and he was giving me out what I needed, and then I was able to answer. You understand?
So, you weren't honest with the Secret Service? You manipulated them so you could answer them into a manipulated answer? Why wouldn't you just answer legit, Ernie? Why did you need to manipulate the Secret Service guy? If you didn't do anything wrong and you're legit, why do you have to manipulate the Secret Service guy? And as if you can really manipulate a Secret Service guy. This is why we cover you, Ernie, because you make us laugh.
You know what I'm saying with that? Like you would be in an interrogation.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's all I did.
It's
And I'm
always like,
sorry,
yeah.
people, for doing this to you. But yes, I do. I do use this, and I know this is going to be there. But you know what? If we're going to show and we're going to put our best foot forward, don't you think this is what I should do? Should I be present with it? Because here's the thing, people. Here's what you don't understand that I do know. People, okay, so
Yes, Ernie. Keep Ernie talking. Keep Ernie talking. Absolutely. Whatever we do, we need to keep Ernie talking.
people you feel when you're locked in versus or scattered or unsure, correct? When you're doing that. So what that is called understanding psychology of attention. You see, attention can happen in many different forms. Now you understand that. Homelander, you want to speak on that, brother?
Oh no, you're spot on. Everything you're saying.
Well, now he's backtracking,
Now,
Homelander.
when I tell you guys this, that I play this dumbass redneck, I do. Okay.
Well, the biggest clue that you play a dumbass redneck is you're a dumbass redneck. I'm sorry to all the rednecks out there, but Ernie's a dumbass redneck. The alphabet kicks his ass.
There are different redneck level. I'll agree with that.
There is. And I don't want to, criticize Appalachian speech, but if Ernie wants to make fun of Ray and his saying peoples and, talking with his W's, and I'm no fan of Ray, but if Ernie wants to make fun of Ray and his speech impediment, I'm going to make fun of Ernie that the alphabet kicks his ass. He don't know how to say an L to save his life. TH just fucks him all up. And if you're going to be a professional person, you might want to take a speech class or two to get you is and are. Is and are. There is a difference between where you use is and where you use are. Now, if you're playing a dumb redneck and just doing that, I wouldn't know why you would want to play a dumb redneck, because why would anyone want to play dumb? Why would anybody want to play less than they are? Most people get on the internet and play more than they are. Why would you want to play less than you are? So you could play Columbo like Columbo played dumb? Well, you're overplaying your part, Ernie. You're overplaying it.
But I understand. Remember, I tell you guys, I tell you everything I do. Remember when I tell you about the tone of voice, the tone shifts, the movement, the surprises? That's what we call change. So what that's called is the CES. There's change, there's emotion, and then there's story. Okay, so when you study the CS or the CES, change, emotion, and story. Let me remember this now. This is hard for me because I haven't done this shit in years. Change is time.
He's telling you right here, straight out, he's manipulating you. And how he's manipulating you.
I got distracted by Mr. Kitty's comment.
He's not manipulating us. The only person he's playing or getting something over on is his tigers or those in his chat. What did Mr. Tiger say or Mr. Kitty say?
The one you have
Everybody.
pinned.
Oh,
Remember when he
oh
when he did the
yeah.
live?
Yep.
Remember when he did the live and he got the stuff on Temu and they were in his Temu order?
I vaguely remember that now that you mention it.
They
Yes.
gave you 3 inches in height.
Mm-hmm. I think that's how some of his mugshots say different on his height because they don't take your shoes off. I don't think when you get your mugshot
Oh,
taken.
they should do that
They should, yeah,
because
and they should
everybody's
really
shoe
measure
height's
you.
different.
Yeah, and the DMV should really measure you because there's a reason they have your height and weight on there. I'm not gonna lie, I go in there and they'll say, weight 183. I'm well over 183, like well over 183. And they put 183 on my license.
Oh, do they?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess you're
whatever.
right. They never really ask you. I mean,
Nope,
wait, do it. I mean, they just
they never
ask
say
you.
you
They
get
don't
on a
really do it.
scale. No,
Huh.
but the reason they do that is if you go missing or if you're a suspect, they'll go to your license and they'll say, well, she's 183. Well, they'll never find me if they're looking for a 183 pound chick. But, so whatever. And yeah, I guess China admitted that he used lifts in his boots.
I don't think they
And
do
node,
that
yeah,
on
like
my
with node.
license anymore. They don't ask weight.
Yep. And some of these words are just Appalachian words, but, and I would never make fun of anybody saying that, but because Ernie makes fun of Ray, I'm going to remind him that he's not a genius. He's not got the best grammar either. He makes fun of people spelling words. Well, I wish I was an English major. I'm embarrassed now that the way I type in sentences because I'm not good at it either. If somebody would have told me in English class in 1985, girl, you need to pay attention because in the year 2000s and beyond, you're going to be
In
on
the
this thing called the
year
internet and you're going to write everything.
2000.
Yeah, and you're going to look like an idiot. You're going to look like an idiot if you don't know English. And sometimes I go, is that right? Is that right? And I have to go back and look. And some people will correct my grammar, and I love that. I want people to correct my grammar because that's what helps me. When people say, I couldn't care or I could care less, no, it's couldn't. Believe me, folks, it's couldn't. You
I know that
couldn't
one
care less.
gets you.
Yeah, it's couldn't. Google it. It's couldn't.
I still
Sarah,
see a lot of could.
Right.
Every time I see it, I'm like, Constance is going to get you.
Right. And I see it and I'm like, oh, no, it's couldn't. Because if you could care less, that means you have some care to give. I still have some care to give. If you couldn't, it means no, all my care is gone. I couldn't care less. There's no more care to give.
I used to think the same in math class. What the fuck am I going to need this for?
Yep.
What the fuck am I going to need this trigonometry for? Well, it's
Until
funny.
you have a kid that needs homework.
Well, I do use a lot of the geometry. I have to say a lot of
Do you
times I
really?
remind myself whenever I'm doing a lot of the art stuff I do, I am always using geometry to tell you the truth. But the trigonometry, I don't need that shit.
I felt like this, I'm showed little tiny, so I felt this small when I couldn't help my kid with some of his homework. I'm like, I don't know what the hell
Well,
that is.
it gets to a point where you really can't anymore because they've changed. They change a lot of the times. Even thinking back when my daughter was doing it, like you have to actually show a different. They teach them in a different way than some of the things we learned. It would be wrong anyways. So
Yeah, I
thank
didn't even
God
try. I'm
I have
like,
to really do it.
you're going to have to stay after school or get a tutor or something because I don't know. It's nothing I learned. If I learned it, I forgot it. And I only
Thank
went to
God.
algebra.
Thank God.
Algebra was
I
close
did.
enough.
Yeah, algebra. Yeah, there was a lot of different maths. I was doing the trig in the 10th grade.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I couldn't. I was never fond of that math. No. I undersold myself. When I could take math classes, I'd sign up for what was not basic math, but it was like useful math, like how to learn a checking account, how to learn, how to budget.
To be fair though, when I was doing the trig, I was actually in a small boarding school at the time when I was doing that math. So we had very small classes, were very small, and a lot of teacher aid was there. You know what I'm saying? It would be like a teacher to like a small group of people.
Yeah.
So we got that
Oh, that's
attention and that
cool.
they worked with us to do shit like that. So
Yeah, that's true, Markella, that we adopt to slang words and keywords. I've never heard gaslight or narrative so much in my life as I hear on here.
there's some words that are used a lot here. Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yes,
Like,
overused. Viper said, when I talked to the police officer in Perry, which he lied, I might add, he told them he was running for governor. He did not tell them he wanted them in jail for 10 days. Imagine that. 10 business days. Like jail is already business days, Ernie. Jail, you don't get out Friday and Saturday, or Saturday and Sunday. There's no 10 business days. It's 10 days in jail. It's 10 days in jail. You don't, they don't shut down for the weekend. Every time he says that, I want to correct him on that, bozo. That's why we laugh and follow you, Ernie, not because we're mesmerized by you and we want to know your ways. No, we watch you so we can laugh at you. It humors us. It does.
hey, it's better for the confidence to think it the other way, though, right?
Right. And we wouldn't want to shatter Ernie's confidence at all. No. Because he's
No,
got a
not
cult
at all.
lead.
Right.
He's got to appear like he knows the right way to go out of the fire or off
He has
the
a
cliff.
reputation constant. Stop that.
Right. I better get to this before we never get to this.
Tone shifts, movement, and surprises. Emotion is fear, humor, awe, or anger. Story is structure that you follow. Okay.
You're muted.
Or anger. Story is structure,
Okay.
movement, and surprises. Emotion is fear,
Emotion. So when he's putting emotion in his chat, it's either fear,
humor,
awe,
awe, or anger.
anger. And what is his lives about? Fear, humor, or anger. He doesn't
What we have here is fear itself.
Right. So that's his 3 ways of
Well, I
manipulating.
just felt like saying that.
Not manipulating us, but manipulating his chat.
Story is structure that you follow.
Story is structure that you follow.
Okay. So this all is a storyline in a way. Remember when I said this is all a movie?
So it's all a storyline.
Do you think
Everything
you
he's
could undo
telling
the pin?
people.
Sorry, when you're done, unpin. So I'm trying to see some of these now that I figured I could zoom in on my phone. Thanks.
All this thing is saying is a storyline. He's not telling you any truths from he's not going out there and being reality. He's going out there with a storyline. And he says it is a movie. He said that a long time ago.
Isn't it a reality channel?
It was, but not anymore.
Wait, are we still the locked doors or are we back to tigers? No, it says tiger.
Well, I think he realized that the locks were a bad idea because Cat couldn't catch on to it. So he told him to quit doing it the other day.
So is there still a lock? Is there a lock one still? Because the cash at the tiger cult and the lightning tiger again. I thought the lightning tiger was done.
He said he's saving that for when he's serious and goes on location and he goes rock climbing.
Okay, so that's like the business one. The lock one is the business one?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Got it. Gotcha.
Movie. This is all a movie. Now you guys are remember when I said this is all a movie?
Hey, one more question.
This is all a movie. Now you guys are understanding, right?
Yeah,
one more question.
Well, good.
Apologize.
We've understood a long time ago. Yeah, we all understood a long time ago that it was a movie and that you were lying and that you were LARPing. The only people that haven't understood is your followers.
I have a question, and it's not very serious, but the people in the since he's a tiger again, does that mean they get to get their names back?
He hasn't said. Well, I don't think so.
Well, I know some people I know that for Tiger Mama for one liked her name, and I thought she probably would like her name back. So I was just wondering if she got her name back. She really liked her name. She didn't want to be a lock.
Her name is the Keys to Mama's Heart now.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so who knows, huh? Mac B said, while Highlander was talking from the heart, Skirm was reading from some book. Absolutely. That's why I gave Highlander so much props to this video. But then he turned right around and did bozo shit on Ernie's live. Highlander said he wants to get along with everybody. He wants to get along with traders. He wants to get along with Sarah. He wants to get along with me. Everybody. He said he wants to get along with everybody.
Well, you seem pretty likable, bro, if you're listening.
Yep. But why does he co-sign Ernie's dumb shit is what I want to know. Why doesn't he call
Maybe
him
it's
on
not
it?
too deep for him because they're old friends. You know, there could be a lot of reasons, I guess.
Could be.
Not
He
enough
did such a
info.
good job on this video. He did such a good job on this live.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
You know?
So
And
far.
if you're a good friend to Ernie, that's what you do. If you want Ernie to act right and do better, you tell him you want him to act right and do better. Like
Maybe he
Nicolina over there
does.
telling him, oh,
Behind the
Ernie,
scenes.
I've seen you changed and blah, blah, blah. No. She just wants Ernie to keep doing some more dumb shit. She hasn't called him on his fuck shit because she wants him to keep doing the fuck shit because that's what secretly down inside they're wanting to watch. They don't
But
want to watch
maybe,
Ernie do
just
shit.
maybe though, Constance, maybe him and Homelander, if they're good old buddies, depending how long they've known each other, maybe they talk behind the scenes. Maybe he gives him shit off there so he doesn't embarrass him. Who knows, right?
Could be. Could
You know,
be.
gotta think of it that way too.
He did such a good job on this live that I had hope.
Well, you never
I
know.
still have hope.
I still
Yeah,
haven't
I
heard the
still-
rest.
We should get to that.
Okay. We do this sometimes.
Yes.
It's been
So
a
the
while
reason I
though.
say that, people, is because what we do is, no matter whether we like it or not, we frame everything. That's just not speaking on something or the shape or the narrative of it. We're framing because framing is the power. You see, people don't judge. Okay, so people don't just judge you by what they hear or what you or what you
Framing,
or what they hear you
like
say.
building a structure,
how-
or framing like guilting someone? What kind of framing? Are we talking about building
I
a
think he
structure?
means by building a structure, you build up the
Okay,
story.
like building his
You
group.
build
Okay.
up your presence.
I
Yeah.
thought so. Just thought I'd ask.
is the power. You see, people don't judge. Okay, so people don't just judge you by what they hear or what you or what they hear you say, or how they hear you and how you set it up. What you do is you want them. You want these. You want people to feel something. Okay, you've got to feel something.
Which is where the children come in. The rescuing children, the bullying. Oh, I'm so bullied. You got to feel something. Anger, humor,
Sad.
or what else? Sadness. Yeah.
In order for you to understand me and like me and want to be a subscriber of mine, you have to understand that you feel it.
He's telling y'all right there, plain as can be. To be a subscriber of his, you got to feel one of these things. That's how we get the subscribers.
What if you
Not
want to go in and just
normal,
have a good time and chat with people in
Right.
chat?
Right, which is what most of YouTube does. They're not on here manipulating, building stories, art, architectural, framing. They're just being genuine person.
You have to feel something. So what do? You name it first. The next part is the shocking part, okay?
Boy, he couldn't be just telling on himself more. Keep Ernie talking.
Because what it does is it lets you break a myth. Now, what I do is I paint the world for you, okay?
He paints the world for you. He paints it as poor Ernie. He paints it as I'm rescuing kids. I'm, all the things he paints it as is not
Mention
what he
myth,
really is
too.
doing. If he was really doing, he wouldn't need to paint. You only need to paint if you're not doing.
Well, let's hear about the myth.
I paint the world before you. I
He paints the world before you. He paints the picture he wants you to see. He's not fooling any of us. He's fooling you.
put this world out there for you to look at. And then that determines on how you decide and how you react.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If he's painted that he's a poor, picked on, bullied guy, you're going to feel sorry for him. So next time he wants some biscuits and gravy or a taco, you're going to say, oh, that poor guy's had a hell of a way to go. I'll give him a couple bucks for a taco. Instead of just coming out and saying, hey, can I have a taco? Because he knows he can't do that. That would only last for so long. He's got to have this manipulation to make it last.
Then when I see how you react to it,
Right. Then the way he sees how you react to it.
Like
I
Oliver
know
Twist.
then when I see how you react to it, I know then if you're going to be a part of my crew or if you're not, and you're going to be a non-sayer or non-believer.
What's it say? Right there. It's for you. I know by the way you react to it. I know if you're going to be a part of my crew and believe my bullshit, feel sorry for me, give me tacos, give me gear to wear, give me biscuits and gravy. I know right away what you're going to be.
Hey, Victorious Bass, I like that name.
That's just common sense. If a newcomer comes into your chat, they know you're full of shit, and you're going to spot the ones that know that they're full of shit, and that's the ones you're going to be cantankerous to, or you're going to try to woo them in more. You're going to say, "Oh well, I'm not your enemy. I'm not your enemy, Connie. Come over here and listen to me. I'm not your enemy." Thinking that I'll come over there. Well, he's not my enemy. No, I'm not a bozo. That I'm not your enemy bullshit is where he's hoping people say, "Oh, okay, well, maybe I did get off on the wrong foot." That's another thing he says. We got off on the wrong foot. And well, maybe Ernie is getting a hard way to go.
Well, you can't be in if you don't believe. Then you can't be in with us.
Right. And if you question, you're going to be shunned.
Just believe and be part of something
Now,
big.
And Renee Prestiagomo says, "I knew you
Christine.
had this, my
Christine,
friend."
not Renee, right?
Oh, yeah. Did I say Renee?
Just for context, I wanted to correct it. Yeah.
Good Lord. Christine Prestiagomo said, "I knew you had this, my friend. You knew he had it for manipulation? You knew he was manipulating? You knew this whole time you were being manipulated and you're proud of it? Okay. That tells me that you're drinking more than just the Kool-Aid. You're drinking the Kool-Aid and the alcohol."
She works
Does that
hard for
mean
you,
that
Ernie.
I'm
You should give
lying?
her her
No.
wrench back,
Just
Ernie.
because I'm smart
Right.
does that mean that I'm lying? No.
Yes.
Just because I'm smart
You're not smart. You're manipulative.
doesn't mean that I'm lying.
No, you're lying 100%. Because if you weren't lying, you wouldn't have to go through all this bullshit. Only somebody that's lying and trying to pull the wool over somebody's eyes and trying to manipulate somebody goes through all this bullshit. Good Lord. Hey, Christine's sitting right there in the chat. "I knew you had this, my friend!" Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. What a weirdo.
But I do understand how behavioral issues work and how the human mindset works. Now, if you understand something, when you run a race. Now, you've run a race before, right, Homelander?
Yeah, when I was a kid, like we would play tag and run around. But what I would challenge you to do, Ernie, is definitely to.
Hey, JP.
And I'm sure
if I didn't want to change, would I be giving you out my secrets right now?
No.
Yes, because that's more manipulation. Because your dum-dums are too dumb to see it, and you know that. So you're like,
You're
"I'm coming
special.
clean
You're
now."
only
Yeah,
privy to this information that others are not, because you're special.
right. And you're saying, "See, guys, I'm coming clean," but you know you're not. It's more manipulation because you're still doing it. You're still doing it.
Because it works.
But you use that as manipulation because your dum-dums will say, "See, Connie, he came clean. He came out and told us all his secrets. See, he's not still manipulating us. He came clean." No,
Yeah,
he didn't.
Constance.
Yeah, he didn't. It's more manipulation.
Oh no, of course not. You wouldn't have literally said, help me or.
He told Homelander to help him. He told Homelander to help him. That's why Homelander's, doing this to help him. That's why Ernie's kind of putting up with it because he's supposed to be helping him. But Ernie really don't want none of this help. No, he sure don't.
I want you to call me on my, you've literally said I want you to call me on my bullshit. So
he wants Homelander to call him on his bullshit. So Homelander,
sure
call him on his bullshit. All of his bullshit. Don't let him wiggle in and get an inch. Call him on his bullshit. And you know what his bullshit is. Stolen valor being one of them.
You have to
Just,
understand. You have to understand when you do this so long.
That's
You
what I mean.
become-
This is a survival mechanism that goes back to, childhood, and it's just evolved into something
Yes.
more complex.
I
So
believe
that's
that.
telling you right there. He's not just using it in the field or when he works. It's complex, and it's a survival mechanism that he's used to date. Still using to date.
Ingrained, I believe.
Right. And the dark triad is one of the hardest things for psychologists to cure, for anybody to cure. Narcissists don't think they have a problem. The Machiavelli, it's ingrained in them. It's their way of life. It's how they've lived. Their brain is wired that way. And the sociopath, same way. He gets it from all three. It's all three together. It's a messed up mess. And reality therapy, and from what I've read, and it's not much, but from what I've read, most psychologists say they can't fix it, because to fix it, they have to acknowledge that they have a problem, and they don't believe they have a problem. And if they do say, I have a problem, they're doing it to be manipulative somehow. They're trying to manipulate you some other way. They really don't believe they have a problem. They're just going to try to manipulate you into something else. Honeybee can tell me if I'm right or wrong. She's been my honeybee.
Sometimes it's easier to tell them what they want to hear.
It is, especially if you're in a relationship with them, or you have anything to do with them. Absolutely. I'm talking as if Ernie's present in chat. No, how'd I do that?
I think she's doing it as if anybody that's listening that hangs out in his chat, perhaps. Sometimes he does listen.
Don't you love the ones that are sure here to criticize me, but never question Ernie? Never once.
Right.
That's kind of weird.
And you've given words to it, whereas you still had these behaviors, but they didn't have complex words, and
So,
but what I'm just trying to say is to you don't have to manipulate.
Homelander's telling him you don't have to manipulate. You don't have to manipulate. Ernie's saying he has manipulating. He is manipulating. He does manipulating. It's all he knows how to do is manipulate. And Homelander's saying you don't have to do it, Ernie. Let's see if he listens to Homelander.
Just
no,
and it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard for you because it's a defense. It's a mechanism for you.
True words. Wow. It's going to be hard for you because it's a defense mechanism you grew up with. You're not going to fix this overnight. You're not going to say, "See, I'm coming true, so I'm true. I'm not. I'm not doing it anymore." It takes years of therapy.
Something that has nothing to do with this whole thing, just because I saw a breaking news pop up. For anyone that follows the P. Diddy, this is kind of random, but I just got a breaking news that the Bad Boy Records executive Robinson is dead. He gone. That could be.
What coincidence is that?
I wonder what info he had, or for court or whatever. I just thought I'd mention it. That's it. Back to this.
Wow. What did Giddy Up say? Yeah, Ernst said he doesn't watch any of us. Right. Sure. Okay.
We all go the way we think, especially in America, we think in a linear pattern. We go from A to B to C, and
right.
we we have this kind of, our brains, that's how they work. And we get into these, like we talked about, we all have patterns. You have a pattern as well. And these patterns are hard to break. So the pattern of kind of like, when I say manipulate, I don't even mean we can manipulate people there's life coaches that get paid a lot of money to manipulate people to do good things for themselves,
I don't see it as much as manipulation, but I've never been to a life coach. But there you go, Ernie. Why don't you take your manipulation and do it for good?
Or so give just that honest authentic representation of what you want and what you're hoping to get in return, and hope that you get it in return. And if you don't, that's okay.
Lisa, you're not being mind controlled. Look,
Lisa says, I'm afraid I'm being mind controlled right now, so I'm going to bounce. Nice discussion. Good night. And Honey Bunny says, be authentic, Ernie. That's all that's required. But he can't. He's dead in the water if he's authentic.
He's got that feedback a lot.
Yeah. Twisted R says, it's not the first time you said this, Ernie. You said this to everyone, Ernie. They just refuse to listen when you say it. About, it's a movie and things like that. He's telling you how he feels. I think that's what she means.
let me be honest with you.
Yeah, good. Finish.
Let me be honest with you. Why does he always got to say, to be honest with you? Let me be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know anybody that's honest that says they're going to be, it has to tell you they're being honest all the time. I don't think I've ever said anything like that. I'm afraid I might do it now that I've heard Ernie say it so much that I might go, oh my God, did I just say that? Because that happens to me. But
finish up. I'm sorry I cut you off there. I just wanted to.
No, you're good. You're good. And you hit it right on. You hit it perfectly. And the thing about it is, it's not always manipulation. Okay. Now, have I used manipulation tactics in the past?
I'll answer in a second.
Hell yes,
Charlotte had a question for me. In the beginning, I came from YouTube from when I seen him on Facebook. So I came over when he joined YouTube, and it was my first experience with a live chat and going, even mingling in any kind of chat on YouTube. I didn't even know they had any. You know what I mean? So yes, in the beginning, I didn't know anything else.
Yeah, there wasn't really any pushback or any.
It's literally the first kind of a chat I joined over here.
Yeah, Sarah used to block me every time I went to Ernie's chat.
Fuck your ass.
Yep, she pressed me.
On, bitch, be gone. Sure did.
She sure did. Who else? I don't know if it was Leslie. Maybe Leslie did too. But
yep, we got you with the lightning quickness.
Yeah, they used to block me the minute I was there.
Chaotic, me and Leslie probably.
Yeah, it might have been chaotic. I think it was. Yeah, because I came on too harsh. I came on too strong. Instead of just trying to be calm, I came on like, rah!
But I gave you feedback, and we both
and I learned from it.
We were both able to learn from the other. Like I gave you legit feedback why I didn't listen to you. You took that into consideration, changed some of your approach, and it worked. And look, now we're the unlikely duo up here.
Right.
Who would have known?
And it was just being open to education. Me and Sarah both. She knew it all, or I knew it all.
We weren't closed minds to what the other had to say when we actually tried to communicate.
Right. And I knew Sarah was a good person. I knew Sarah wasn't blocking me just to block me because she hated me. She was a good person. I knew
and you weren't swearing at me or any reason I would think you were some sort of horrible person. It was just the approach.
I try not to cuss like that. I try.
You got to give, you got to listen.
Right.
So now we have a funny story.
What I use is what's called. Oh, yes.
That's okay.
Lisa, you're not being mind controlled. Look.
Oh, shit. Look at that.
Let me be honest with you.
Yeah,
look
good.
At that.
Finish up. I'm sorry I cut you off there. I just wanted to.
No, you're good. You're good. And you hit it.
Constance. Sorry. You got a good donation. Look. You see it?
On where?
You got $50.
Am I missing
Thank you for your $50 super chat. Is it not? Maybe you're behind. Maybe mine's ahead. Is it not showing on you? You have to go to the YouTube side, maybe.
Maybe.
I can't pin it for you because I'm not, I'll read it. It's by Damn. All right. Do you see it yet or no? I can read it. But I was waiting for you to pin it. Okay. Damon says, you're doing good work, brother. Just a donation to contribute towards your motivation and let you know you're appreciated. Thank you. Damon, did you mean to give that to us? What is going
wrong? How did I miss that?
Wait a
Yeah.
second. My phone changed it, and I just told you had $50, and I fucked you over. I'm in the wrong. That's funny
I
shit,
was like,
but it's not
I don't
funny.
see it. I don't see
That's
it
funny
anywhere.
shit,
I
but
was
it's
like,
not funny. When he said brother, I'm
that's
like, bro,
okay.
why are you saying brother? It's fucking my phone's changed to the wrong channel.
I was
I'm an
like, I
asshole.
don't even
I
know
was
him.
so
I don't even know
excited
the
for
guy.
you. I got happy for you that
That's
you got
okay.
$50. I'm an asshole, man.
No,
But it
you're
was an
not.
accidental asshole.
Yeah.
No, I don't
It's
even
no big
drink. I don't
deal.
like it. Oh man.
Did somebody ask if you were drunk?
Yeah, they did. I mean, that would
Yeah.
be something a drunk would do, but I just don't like
Uh,
alcohol. It makes
it gives
me
me a
sensitive to
hangover.
it. I can take one drink of alcohol and I can feel it. Like I can take one sip. I'm the biggest lightweight there is.
Me too.
So
I get them little
I'm like
shooters, you know, them
cheapest
little.
drunk. All
Yep.
right, let me
I always
see.
get one of those and tell the
Oh
guy, "You drunk
man,
yet?"
I'm
I'm like,
sorry,
"Yep."
Constance. I feel like a jerk
That's
now.
okay.
But I feel
That's
bad
okay.
because I was so excited for you.
That's
That's like a
okay.
good. Oh man. Well, at
I'm
least
happy
people
one
have
way or
something to
the
laugh at me about. And Constance, my bad.
other.
That'll give the
Okay, I'll take
tigers in the
it.
bushes laugh because I fucked it up. Okay, let me find your
Yeah, yeah,
channel
even
now.
they need humor.
Damn it!
Finish up. I'm sorry I cut you off there. I just wanted to
No, you're
get
good.
that
You're
out.
good. And you hit it right on. You hit it perfectly. And the thing about
It's
it
not
is,
every day to get a
it's not
donation
always manipulation.
like
Okay.
that.
Now, have I used manipulation tactics in the
Damn it.
past? Hell yes, I have. I have.
Absolutely.
Now,
Why?
what I use is what's called emotional pacing.
Okay, what he's used is emotional
I'm
pacing.
so sorry. I feel so bad.
Did you read that from Viper? I
Let me
started because I
see.
wanted to make sure I read it.
No, I'm too busy
Lightning
feeling like
Viper
shit.
reporting for duty. No warrants, no arrests, no investigations on me. Boot boot, and my license still says CDL veteran. Yada yada yada. He did this earlier at it was at 3:31 p.m. But
Why? Do you still have a warrant, Angelo?
No, he said no warrants, no arrests,
I know. I was
no
joking.
investigation.
I didn't know. Oh, look! You did get $20 at least, and it's real this
Thank you,
time.
Faizan the coleslaw.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel a
Yeah,
little
that makes
better.
me happy. Yeah, I can always thank you for the contribution to the channel. I don't think donations are right. Contribution to the channel, I like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got those.
Thank you for helping, Flies. I feel so
Yeah,
horrible, man.
we appreciate it. I don't got anything fancy to play because I just never made any of those. But
I have to make
big
a
old
new
thank
one if
you.
I get one because every time I play it, I get a copyright thing that I have to fix. Well, every lives is pretty much
Oh,
on copyright, but they don't like the Ninja song, the Vanilla Ice one particularly. Damn.
But the stupid
But
thing, it didn't
well,
count
we
towards
did
my
get
goal because
$5. I know
I
I have
never know how to. Yeah, Fizz cranks in us, and I don't have my Cash
man.
App open. So there you go, Fizz. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Fizz.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Thank
you.
you. Thank
I
you so much.
appreciate you.
Want to donate, donate, don't. But Sarah just made a big mistake.
Okay.
I could
I gotta
sing.
get into it.
I don't sing, but I'll have somebody else sing maybe.
Maybe make me one.
I could make you something yet here's
Emotional.
what you're looking for. I'll be happy to do that.
Let me think about it and I'll send you ideas.
I like to make thumbnails and all
Pacing.
that.
What?
If people ever need any kind of picture or whatever, I could help you. I'm not the best out there, but I know how to do it quickly on my
Yeah.
phone.
And my thumbnails, I don't know how to do that either because I just
can hook you
go
up
to
with
the
that.
well, you tell me how to do it or fix me.
I a different app and then I drag them in.
That I still don't understand. It doesn't make any sense at all to me. I
The
use the
thumbnails?
InShot for anything. I can't make videos. I don't know how to use it at all.
I don't do it on YouTube. I go to Canva on my phone because on the phone it's even faster than the laptop.
Can't use Canva either.
Why not?
Yeah, on my laptop. I think it's on my phone. It works better. On my laptop, is more confusing. I don't know why.
It's just so fast, and then I can go to StreamYard on my phone after I save the picture and put it right in there really quickly.
Because if you notice, I haven't been making any clips at all because I use my laptop. I use my phone for every clip that I've made, every clip that I have, every video. I use my phone and
you can do a
loved
lot
it.
on the
Simple,
phone.
easy. Yeah, and it was free, a free app. Didn't cost me nothing.
Well,
but
I
thought
share.
it'd be, you know,
You can share with people. I share Canva Pro with somebody and then we both have our own separate areas, and the other person doesn't see it unless you send it. And then I'm thinking of
Mm.
sharing the StreamYard with somebody else because it's getting too a lot, because I
Mhm.
do the premium so people don't have commercials. And I don't know why everybody has cheaper StreamYard than me, but mine's $44, $44.99. Plus it's like 13 for premium. So you guys
Huh.
don't get commercials. So I don't know why. I've heard other people say that their StreamYard's 30. I'm like, then why is mine $44.99?
I don't know. I know they have different price levels.
I gotta
And then
learn
if some,
OBS to ditch this shit.
yeah,
I just
I
like all
just,
my stuff. I don't want to lose it.
yeah, and if you have a lot of stuff on there, I wouldn't want to either. I
That's
didn't
the
have a lot of
problem.
stuff. I don't.
Yeah.
If my channel goes down, I'm probably just done because I ain't gonna,
I
put
don't want
old
to part
videos.
with all my clips. I got my
That's
soundbite of
true.
you and Bird on there.
And see, and that's another reason why people need archive, because say like, I'll use voices, Lori, voices, voices behind the shit. They had some damn good clips with good information. But then she
$98.
decided she didn't want to be part of the drama. So she deleted them all. I want that information. I need that information. That's part of good information. It wasn't just making fun of Ernie. It was legit information that was valuable, and I said the same thing to Nana C. Nana C wants out of the drama. Nana C, somebody needs to clip your clips in because we need that information. It's so hard to find credible, so many clips were made to make
I
fun
get
of
what
Ernie.
she's saying. That's why I try to, even when I have less people come in for that, I try to do those things just for the people that want to chill and have a break from it. You know what I mean? It's not as popular, but I try to find interesting things just to have a place to go and chat and shoot the shit and shit, OBS is free. I need to learn that.
If there was ones that were made out of hate, or there was ones made out of this and that, but if it was the ones that was made with very, important information and clips we'll never get back, every time I go to my playlist and it'll say 3 videos are gone. I'm like, what 3 were they? Damn it. But I don't ever have time to go back and back them all up,
I have
so
some
I
in
just
my
got to
computer. Some of the clips are in my computer, but here's the problem. Sometimes I upload on my phone too. So some of the clips are saved in my phone files. So I have some of them that I could re-upload or whatever, but definitely OBS is on the list.
I used to save them in, on cloud and all this and everything. And then I forgot where the hell I put it. Where'd I put this one? Where'd I put this one? Then, your thing's about full. You need to pay. Oh, well, shit, I don't want to pay. So I just forget it.
I just don't like change. I don't like change in the new. I'm afraid of screwing up if I use the new software.
Bye, MacB. Well, I'll go to Ghost Live here in just a minute. I'm going to end this. But Jody said, I think Homelander wouldn't do what he says to Ernie because at first he wouldn't obtain those phone records. And by the end, Homelander said it would be a great content. I thought that was weird. It was weird.
Good content. The calls between Lisa?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And what I find funny is Ernie says that he doesn't use anybody else's content. Well, that's using somebody else's content. If you cover phone calls, that is, technically somebody else's content.
But if you paid for it.
Yeah, but even if you paid for it, it's just like everybody covers. When you people say you have no content,
to point out.
Yeah, it's like even the
commentary.
Yes, and the True Detective shows, they use the real life thing as content. So you can't say they don't have content. Well, they need to get the real detective needs to get their own content. No, the true life crime is their content. Ernie is my content. You see what I mean? Jailhouse calls are content.
It is. It's a popular thing. Those Wade Wilson ones get a lot of views. And also, if he went over the phone calls, like I said, I first pointed out he might not like some of the stuff that's said on them, because I'm sure some of them are stories that he might not like other people, want to hear. That's one thing, one aspect of it. And 2, he was complaining to Mom when she put out his calls, and that was stealing and against the law. So is it okay if you do it to her? You know what I'm saying? You'd be doing what you were complaining about. So
good point, guys. That's why somebody has always had to, like, why they sent Fizzcrank down to Georgia, because all we seen was Bullhorn Betty and JLR and Dolly's version of it down there. They wanted to send somebody down there to see the other side of it, to video them, because otherwise we just got what they were saying. So we wanted somebody to go down there and video them. That's why they sent Aileen and Tammy. Miss you, Tammy. Miss you, Buttercup Baby, too, wherever you are. I don't know if you're going to
Oh,
different
yeah.
name, but I miss Buttercup Baby to death. She was,
Yeah, I liked her around.
yeah. She's been gone, but
Well, I hope she's okay.
okay. I'm going to get to this so I can get to Ghost.
Okay.
What you do is you start. So what I do is I'll start strong. I pull them in with a hook, a
Hook.
question. It can be it can be a question, or it can be like a visual, like I could say, hey, and get them to visualize something in their head. Then what
Like track marks on somebody's arm.
happens is
Yeah,
that
power of
builds tension.
suggestion.
And that builds tension.
Now, what I won't do is I won't give away everything, not too fast, okay?
Which is what he didn't. He kept saying, what's that look like to you? What's that look like to you on Katie's arm?
So what that does is that creates curiosity.
It's exactly what he did to Katie's pictures.
We all know curiosity does what? Kills the cat, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So what I
But that
do
draws-
is it draws. Exactly. It's the biggest
But the cat is you, Ernie. You don't understand. The cat is you.
drawer they are. So what you're doing is then you release little by little, but you do it with emotion.
Exactly what he did to Katie's arms. So on my question to you, Highlander, he's supposed to be doing better. You're supposed to be calling him on his shit. He said he wanted to do better. He said he's changing, right? Because why would he come out and tell you secrets if he wasn't changing, right? He hasn't changed. He used it just yesterday on Katie's arms. He used this just exact thing on Katie's arms.
What it is like humor, and I'm very humorous.
And he tried to be funny about it.
I'm comedy, relief, surprise, or empowerment. I can be all of these.
Yep.
So here's the big one, and
only to, angry, and only to those in your chat. You didn't fool anybody over here for a minute. Nobody over here for 1 minute thought those were track marks on Katie's arms.
I've already said it before, and we talked about it, is I use pauses.
I don't think some did there either.
Yeah, I don't think they did.
I don't think even some there believed it, but you had to go along with it. Or, I mean, I know there's people in the medical field. I mean, that's why I said some. I think it's a troll.
Chasing Justice spoke out and said, "I don't think it's troll."
Oh, good on her. I mean, like I said, it's like it doesn't really matter who you like or not, but we all have people that we have experience with that. Drug use affects everyone at this point, like whether it's a family, a friend, somebody's kid they lost. We know what track marks look like.
Right.
A well-placed, now listen, guys, a well-placed silence makes people do what? Lean in. It's 1,000% proven fact. So what I do is, there's a saying is, he who controls the pace controls the perception of power.
Are you listening to this, Tigers? He's manipulating.
Sure
He's manipulating all of you. Renee said they look like track marks. Yes, you did. Yeah.
She did.
I thought somebody else did too, but I can't remember who it was, so I didn't want to say for sure. But I thought somebody else said it too. So he's sitting there saying, to this date, he's manipulating.
Perception is reality until proven otherwise. Okay.
He said that for a long time too. That means what you think you see is what is your reality, unless somebody proves it different, which is what we do, which is why we come after Ernie, which is why we archive Ernie, why we review Ernie, because we're over here until otherwise proven different. We're proving different. Y'all might see it like that and want people to see it like that, but we're here to prove otherwise.
Look at it for yourself without anyone telling you what you see, and you tell yourself what you think you see, not what someone else tells you see.
Or does their pausing, or their low voice talking, or
what you see or don't see.
Right. All that's manipulation.
You can do that without anyone.
Now, this is something I learned in bounty hunting from Bob Burton. Bob Burton was the master of this. Go ahead.
I've heard you tell some stories about you and Shelby were into wrestling. Maybe even I heard Margaret. I don't know, but I heard that you and Shelby were like really into wrestling for a little while.
Wrestling.
Like, where remember you saying you were catching rides and just even like this would be called like ring psychology. And you're good at it. You have a good. You have a natural ability. Like, what was it? Was it?
He's only good at it to the Tigers. He's not winning and influencing anybody over here. Only people that are sucked in by it are over there. Whether you were here, whether you left Ernie and came over to this side and, wanted Ernie to do better and change. His mods are fuming because we exposed this or because Homelander's saying all this. His mods, I don't think, get it. Oh, like they're not talking about us. You can see his comments over there. Hardly any mod is commenting. They're not saying anything. Honey Bunny says, but Ernie, these people are here for you already. No manipulation was ever needed. He's been told that 1,000 times. He don't care. He wants to manipulate. The manipulation is the power. It's not. It's the power that comes from manipulation. The fact that he can do it. That's what he likes. That's what he's drawn to. That's ingrained in him. That's why it's going to be hard to change. He hasn't changed today.
And even knowing that it's not true or whatever, even if presenting a controversy can create views, and that's part of the formula, right?
Right.
It could be.
And supposedly this guy, Venom Homelander, they portrayed him, they put it out there that he is some kind of in the movies. So somebody said, is it Tom Hardy? And he said, no, I'm not Tom Hardy. He said he would tell us if we guessed who it was, but he wouldn't say nothing. But somebody said, but who knows? This guy could be just as full of shit as Ernie, thinking he's Tom Hardy. You something? Okay.
Maybe he's from the horror movies.
I'm going to play this.
Maybe he wore one of the masks.
Yeah, he might have, he might be as delusional as Ernie is, but I was impressed with him with this video.
What stopped you? Because there's been several times in your life where you've kind of found a niche and you stopped. But I just specifically wrestling. What happened with wrestling?
I didn't like. Okay, so
what happened with wrestling? He didn't pay the people. He was a con man. He wanted the quick, fast, easy. He didn't want to put in the work. That's what happened with the wrestling.
The wrestling world.
What?
I was at the time I was into the wrestling world. I was also kind of religious. I was into the camp meet in 2000. Okay, so let's go back into 98.
Have a good day, Fizz.
2000, 2001. Even
thank you.
After all this stuff started. So say my life started off when before. Okay, so it's being an adult. 18, 19, 20 years old. Around that time was all the military stuff. When I joined professional wrestling, when I went to ASPW, CWF, Cruiserweight.
He's taking him down a rabbit hole to avoid the question. He's dancing around it.
Champion. And all this stuff storms in from all that there. So here's the thing, when you say ring psychology,
Ringa.
Now this goes really, really big with pro wrestling or any kind.
You might be muted if you're talking.
Oh my God, I am. Homelander asking what happened with the wrestling. The wrestling, he conned him. He didn't pay him. He wanted the quick fix, the instant, he wanted the money without the work. And he just danced all around it. He never did answer Homelander with that question.
Combat sport, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, you're right. It is any.
It's not. It's just not about like the physical movement of it. It's not about like controlling the emotion, the audience reaction, even the flow of the match or the fight. Like a lot of people think chess game. Okay, so if we was to have to ring. So if I was to give you like a description of like what ring psychology really is, it's like an art. It's like a telling, or it's like a telling of a story inside the ring. Okay, it
Over here in chat, Spike's World says, so you're basically saying how you got the ones that follow you is because they're stupid enough to believe what you say. You finally admitted it. Don't worry, they're still too dumb to see it. And Stormy said, most of us then not see through the manipulation and don't believe anything you say, but hang around for the entertainment of watching others that do believe. That's true.
involves stuff like with the time, the motion, your
Yeah,
body
it's the things you're
language.
talking about. It's staying
what I'm talking-
silent, and staying
it's the same-
still.
it's the
It's
same
doing
principle.
things physically and verbally, and like and
Exactly.
you're
Okay, guys, I think I'm going to end it there.
Oh,
This
wait a
Ghost
minute.
is live. Okay, yeah, Sarah, your final thoughts.
That was very interesting. Also, especially since I haven't heard anything, But I was
Yeah.
surprised about the Homelander too, and I agreed on some of it. Surprisingly, I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah, Homelander, I was really impressed with.
Nicely done, Ernie, your friend. Put these together.
Yep. And a real friend will call you out on it. Someone that doesn't want to watch you
That's
succeed
true.
or wants you to stay in your misery will let you, walk around like that. Like have a
True.
booger in your nose. It's not comfortable to know that you got a booger in your nose, but So okay, I'm
That's
gonna drop
true.
the link for Ghost. He's
I
just
gotta
went live
fix
12
my-
minutes ago, but he's on music, so
On what?
I don't
Oh,
think
is
we
that
missed
the Mama
much.
T?
Yeah, and he's playing music, so I don't think we've missed much.
You know,
Thank you for the super chats, Flies on the Coleslaw, and
Oh,
sorry Ann
shit.
for being a member for 22 months?
wasn't Ernie saying he wasn't
Yeah,
going
22 months.
earlier? Not. I
Oh
don't know
yeah,
if he
he's
will.
above it. He's above it. But
think he will?
if he wants to go, no. See, and I didn't get time for the Tigers to come out and talk to me. Tigers, I promise tomorrow I'll end with time for you to come talk. I'll give you a night to ruminate on this and marinate in it and see what you think. And then
Let me try this one. I think I screwed up the things because they were stuck together. That's the right one. I got to delete the other one. Sorry. I have a feeling like he'll probably. I can't delete my first comment. Damn it. I have a feeling he might get tempted to, but I bet people will probably tell him not to go there.
well, he should because
That's
keep
my
Ernie
feeling.
talking.
What do y'all think? You think he's gonna go? Michelle Summer is also convicted. Who's Michelle Summer? Somebody
Somebody in the chat that's having
Oh.
chat fight with Lisa.
Where? How do you know these people? If
I don't know. I think it's probably from somewhere else community.
Are they from the crime? Everybody
Yeah,
that
I
I don't
think so.
know. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh boy, I missed anyway. Chainsaw strong. I like that.
Thank you.
I gotta make you a chainsaw overlay.
Something.
You know, like the one I have on mine. I
Yeah.
can give you that. I think I should make
I
one
don't
with
think
the
I have
chain.
it. I need you to make me one with your Cash App and my Cash App too, or just share yours with me.
I'll just throw the one
So
I
when
got
we
over
do
there.
it-
Yeah, I just do
Yeah.
that for everyone on panel now, just because then if they want to, they can. For any guest I have.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna let the chat fight it out
All
and
right.
not get involved.
Oh,
And I'm gonna go to go.
Oh, I see. All right, y'all have a good day. Thank you for
Thank you,
chatting.
Sarah, for coming up. I'll probably do
Y'all
this
have
again
fun.
tomorrow about the same time.
Yeah, this is fun. It's been a while. Okay, see you later.
Later.